Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. I'm your host, Cody Lashney. This is a show for Panther fans by Panther fans. If you would like to be a part of the action, just like we do every Friday, man, I have pinned the link to the YouTube and Facebook chat. If you would like to join the show and be with us via Streamyard and be a part of this conversation, man, it's a Friday. Everybody's getting off of work. We're, all the basketball fans are watching this NCAA madness, man. I already see the banter in our C3 Legion chat, man. So it's uh, good times, man. Happy to be here and talk Panther football with the boys. Speaking of which, you know him and love him. He might tell you to shut the hell up. My man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, what's up?
Well, y'all, I'm in a good mood today. Earlier this week, I got in trouble at work for having my headsets in. No longer can I wear the mask that covers my ears. So I'm no longer able to cheat and listen to audio at work. That being said, though, I got a message for all Carolina Panther fans. Take this from the heart. If you're stuck in the Brian Burns issue or the is Bryce a real quarterback or who we should have took, if you're stuck in the I hate Deborah Tepper, you have a right to think that. But don't allow yourself to be stuck at those one topics that you can't move forward. If that's the case, I'm telling you something. It's best you get a level Madden. Because that's the best place for your ass.
Well, you know what? Move forward, we shall. And even play Madden, you shall. Or whatever you need to do to cope, go ahead and do it. But the Panthers have made new signings. So we're going to move forward and talk about these new signings and what it means for the team. What did we expect from this free agency versus what we got? Are we done? So many questions to be answered. Next up, you do know him and love him. We do refer to him as the brand ambassador. He waves the C3 flag proud. Man, this dude is the top ranked member of the C3 Legion, man. My man Diesel Skills. What's up, brother?
What is going on, Cody Lack? Here with all my C3 brethren on another Friday night. Just as the sun always rises and always sets, the C3 Panthers podcast will have a great big fight for your entertainment right here on Friday nights, hosted by Cody Lashney on the Friday Free For All. I'm ready to have some fun and, like Panther Pickle said, progress this conversation about these rebuilding Carolina Panthers. A lot of moves have to be made before this team's going to be what we all want and dream for it to be. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the conversation and the discussion. You can join as well. Click that link in the description. Get on here and tell us your opinion about these Panthers and what we should do at pick 33 and what we should do at pick 39. I'm ready to have some fun, Cody. Let's go into the free-for-all.
Yes, sir. And you know we're going to do another C3 Friday free-for-all mock draft later on in the show. That has been a fun experience, to say the least. And we're going to put kind of a twist on it today. But, hey, man, I'm happy to have y'all here with me. Next up, man, we've got some legends in the building today. First up, long time no see, my brother from another mother. He is a legend of the cat calls, and we have been to the stadium together in person. It's my brother, Supreme Lita, joining the free for all. Supreme, what's up, brother?
What's good, Cody? What's good, C3? Man, missed you guys. I had to pop in while I had time, until the kids or the job starts calling. So I'm just ready to sit here and talk some goddamn Panther football. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you back on the free for all, brother. Just like old days. Next up, man, he is always present in the C3 spaces that the boys are doing seemingly every day, man, making an incredible Twitter environment for Panther fans to want to be a part of. A part of that is my man Cole in the building. Cole, what's up, brother?
Cody Lack, happy Friday free for all to you, my friend. Happy March Madness to you as well. But what I would like to call March Madness, Cody's just another regular ass Friday with my family. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. I appreciate you. Let me see. Next up, my man who has been a fixture of recent free for alls And you know what? This man, he knows that humankind, that we're actually aliens. It's my dog, Christian Hunt. Christian, what's up, dude?
What's up, gentlemen? That's my cue. Thanks, Cody, for hosting this and babysitting on another Friday free fall. I'm just excited to talk the draft because we're T-minus 5 weeks away. At this time in 5 weeks, we'll probably be talking about who we just selected and or traded the pick away. So I'm thinking we need defense, but I'm sure we'll get into it.
Oh man, that's literally the topic of business tonight. Might the defense be the highest priorities with pick 33 and 39? It ought to be a fun discussion, man. I'm excited to do it. First up, let me finish these. My man, Be Good, joining the C3 Friday Free for All. How are you, brother?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Hey, first off, let me say, March Madness. Hey, I like that Duke jersey got on. It's only a few of us out here. You know what I'm saying?
Red looks better, baby. ACC
Duke is poop.
champions.
Duke is
Like I
poop.
said, I'll pull for all the ACC teams except for Carolina. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to that.
I'm with
But
that
hey,
shit.
not to like try to start no beef or nothing like that. G Baby said some things when I was on the other podcast. I asked him to jump on, he wouldn't do it. So if y'all want to hear some fireworks before I had to go, I would love to hear him speak. You know what I'm saying? Me and him. Tell him bring his Mormon ass on. I know he listen.
Hey, bro, just so y'all know, your boy knows nothing about basketball, so I will not be able to assist in the conversation. I do think my Clemson Tigers won today or yesterday or something.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, shout out to my Tigers.
Yeah,
Man.
ACC doing big things. Like I said, I ain't gonna be able to stay on, but if he pulls up, I'll come back. So if you want to talk his little football or something like that, we can. But hey, like I said, a little shout out to the Mormon world. What you call him, the black man standing in Utah. Am I right?
Yeah, that is what he calls himself.
Yeah, tell him like I told him, hey, come chill with the rest of us black folks. You know what I'm saying? Around the world.
Bro, G Baby's the homie. He's been hitting me up about these sleeper trades, man. I'm about to have to mute my fucking phone.
Hey, but like I said, Duke about to play, so hey, like I said, Duke over everything. I'm listening. Hope y'all have a great show.
Got you, man. Appreciate having you, man. Yes, sir. We appreciate you being good. We'll come back around to you if you're available. My man, Jake the Snake. Jake in the Friday Free for All. Happy to have you again, brother. Jake.
Oh, happy to be here, y'all. Love you, Cody. Love all y'all, bro. Y'all make my days, man.
Oh yeah, man. We do it for C3, baby. We're gonna keep it C3. But we gotta make that the new thing to say, baby. We gotta keep it C3 out here, man. The world will conspire against you, but C3 Panther Nation, baby, we are a legion. That's what's up.
We strong, baby.
Bro, all the time. On every day to enter the Y, baby. You already know. Next up, my man Vegas Drew. Back in the Friday Free for All. Drew, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Doing good, man.
All types of fun. Gotta say go Tar Heels. I know you guys just bashed them a little. Some people did, so let's go Tar Heels.
Hell yeah. Say it louder.
We have everybody in North Carolina represented in this thing, man. We got NC State, Duke, Tar Heels. Damn, all right. Next up, my man Dominic Pascal. Dominic, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Cody? What's up, everybody on the panel? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Happy to have you on another Friday Free for All. Listen, if you would like to help us out, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for all things C3 Panther related. Let's jump into some news first. This happened before the show. The Panthers agreed to terms with former Rams and Bengals safety Nick Scott. And just as a whole, how did you feel Dan Morgan has done with this defense in free agency? And do you think we might see him use some of those early second round picks to bolster that defense instead of going wide receiver? We'll start with my man Supreme back on the free for all. Supreme, how are you feeling about it, man?
Well, I mean, with the signing, it's, to me, it's just meh, it's with what Dan's doing. I think he's, doing what Gettleman said, that the one thing I can take from Gettleman is, use free agency to set up the draft. And like with the interior being, built up, we got Deontay Johnson on the outside. At this point, whatever they do with the 2 second-round picks, I think it's going to be best player available at that point.
Yeah, potentially so. Thinking about that defense, though, and again, we've sort of been talking about this. Now you add another safety in free agency. Do you think that now the focus is, well, we've added on the O-line. Now we've added some more to the defense. It almost does look like they're trying to set up a best player available scenario.
Yeah, and that's how I think it should fall. Now, if they see somebody in the first round and they're like, truly in love with them, do what you can. But I think we're pretty good sitting at, with our 2 second-round picks, considering what he had to inherit after all this, BS that happened. I think we're set up pretty well to just go best player available. That's what I think we should do.
Yes, sir. Who wants to jump on it next?
I think it's just primarily a special teams player. I think he'll be an excellent backup for both safety positions. I know we got a guy we drafted last year in the 5th round. We got an undrafted guy that we actually brought in later on in the year that the last previous coaching staff liked. But we need to remember both those guys were drafted by the previous head coach and GM, not the current coordinator. The coordinator may like him, it gives us a safety valve if one of them young guys that we had left over from the last roster fails. This is a guy with experience at both positions. Right now he's dirt cheap, I'm sure. He's 28, so he's not a spring chicken, but he's also not 32 getting ready to retire age. So I just think it's a good special team safety valve. It's a guy who can play strong or weak or free safety, either one that we need
free safety.
Exactly. I just think it's a good safety valve. We've had them in the past, but it's all. I really think it's mostly special teams. Like that linebacker that we was going to sign, and then he changed his mind. It's just he was just a special teamer anyway, so it really wasn't all that. I went to bed.
So what Pickle is talking about so another signing that we made is wide receiver David Moore back on the Carolina Panthers. That doesn't really move me too much. That's another special teamer, but also linebacker Justin Smead had a contract and all but everything except signed on the dotted line, and then he decides the last minute he wants to go back to Denver and stiffs the Carolina Panthers. So fuck them.
That man was like, "There's weed in Colorado."
Yeah.
Right, I don't want a damn thing from Denver anyway, Cody. Fuck them.
Fuck
if you look, if you look at this guy's stats, let's be real. He started 5 games in 2020, and he looked so damn good. They wouldn't let him start after that. Not one time. He didn't even. Fact is, in the last season, he didn't play one defensive snap. Not one defensive. No matter how bad they suck,
I am not losing.
They
I am not
still
losing
didn't put him on that damn field.
Yeah, not losing sleep over Justin Smead. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, our 4th string backup is probably better than this dude.
So let me pass the mic around here. Dominique, are you impressed with what Dan Morgan has been able to do thus far in free agency? And is there anything more that you would like to see him do that he's yet to do?
Honestly, I know it's probably gonna happen, but I was hoping he would probably try to make a package for T. Higgins. But but honestly, though, I thought about it though. Like people realize, I gotta realize there's a lot of receivers that's probably gonna fall at 33. So,
it's a very deep wide receiver class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's real deep. So my thing is I know it's probably gonna be a couple of receivers fall to us. Then I say with that 39 pick, we probably just go defense on that one.
Okay. I mean, that's one of my biggest questions is, knowing that there are guys in this draft like Chop Robinson, the defensive end out of Penn State, fast riser. He's being talked about as a first-round pick right now. You have both of the Texas wide receivers, but then you have a bunch of these other good defensive players like Nate Wiggins, the corner out of Clemson.
There's no way he's getting out the first round. There's no way.
I don't think so either. But there's so many good players this year that someone inevitably is going to get bounced outside of the first round.
Right. It's just a matter of if I know people have their own opinions about things, but yesterday's Spaces we did a 32-man or 32-team draft,
and it was beautiful, Pickle.
It was, and one thing we found about is there's too much talent. There's too much talent for somebody not to drop. The question is, do we want the guy that drops? That's just the question right there.
We want that guy, Pickle.
Well, I don't know. Now slow your roll there, dude. Let's think about this shit, okay? We wanted him yesterday. You damn right we won. We took that center yesterday, didn't we? Now, but here's the roll. What if 2 quarterbacks are available at 33? Do we want
quarters?
2 quarterbacks?
Quarterback. So basically, he's basically saying no. What Pickle is saying is that if somebody wants to trade up to grab a quarterback, then thereby it pushes someone further down. You trade back a little more. And look, it's obvious the Panthers have options. They don't have a first-round pick, but they do have options. And if they're good at this evaluation process, they should be able to find a top-tier talent somewhere on the defense or somewhere at the wide receiver position. It's just wide receiver gets so much press now. Most people think it has to be a wide receiver. If Brian Thomas Jr. is there, or Adonai Mitchell, or some even love the idea of taking Ladd McConkey at that position. So the Panthers have options. It's just what direction do they decide to go at 33? I'm going to let Cole go. Go ahead, Cole.
I'm happy so far with everything, Cody. I would like a couple more bodies, especially on the defense. I know we're straight with Brown, and then we got Ashawn. He's going to be really good for us too. But I would like another body behind them that's serviceable for depth. But so far, I can't complain. I kept saying it over and over yesterday. You have to realize that we won 2 games last year, and for us to be able to get the kind of talent, even if we are overpaying, we couldn't ask for anything better, honestly.
Okay. Look, man, the other Friday we had a viewer came in that said, hey, can my 12-year-old little cousin come and join the show? And I said, hey, man, the free-for-all is for everybody. So the 12-year-old cousin is back on the show. What's up, man?
What's up?
What's up,
Hey, tell me your name one more time. I'm bad with names, my brother.
It's fine. Navid, Navid.
Navid. Happy to have you back. Happy to have you back on the free-for-all, Navid.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about these new signings for the Carolina Panthers? And are you impressed with Dan Morgan thus far?
I mean, I knew David Moore. I saw some things. I did not know who.
You went out, Navid.
Oh, my bad. You ended up getting muted. My bad, Navid. Start over, brother.
Fine. I knew David Moore because I saw the news. I honestly didn't even know we signed Sturmad until now, so I never got the news. But honestly, I don't know who Sturmad is. I need to look at his stats.
No, Sturmad's not even on the team no more.
It's not even worth your time, sir.
He was going to sign with the Panthers, and then at the last minute said, no, I'm going back to the Denver Broncos. So it's just, basically just David Moore, and the Panthers just signed safety Nick Jones, who used to play for the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's nice. I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I mean, I'm not crazy impressed. There were some trades that I was impressed with, like Deontay Johnson, and then some trades I wasn't, like Brian Burns. So I don't know how to feel about him right now.
Okay, hey, that's an honest assessment.
Fair assessment.
That's
Fair
honest.
assessment.
Very good.
All right, who else wants to jump in on this? Just are you?
I got you,
Let me
Cody.
jump in there, Cody.
Yeah, go ahead, dude. Do your thing, dude.
Yeah, so here's my thing about what we've done so far. I know a lot of Panthers fans are really happy about the free agent period that we had, especially the first 2 days. Like, we never see the Panthers getting on big name people, and we made sure we solidified the interior of that offensive line in those 2 days. That was a fantastic job as far as I'm concerned by Dan Morgan. I like to see that kind of aggressiveness from the Panthers to go out and get some free agents. Now, we had to pay them pretty good to come to Carolina, but you just have to realize that's just the way it is. Especially, that's when you overpay anyway, is the first 2-3 days of free agency. If you want a guy, you go get him and you overpay him. It's not like the Panthers are the only ones to overpay in the first few days of free agency. That's just kind of the standard for the NFL. If there's a guy out there you want, you go get him and you pay him what he wants for the most part, well, within the guidelines of the market. But here's the thing. So all those good moves that we had, and I wanted to comment on Scott. I like Scott. Scott's fine. We know last year we saw a lot of depth pieces brought in at safety, and a lot of us were scratching our head. But that's just Avero's defense. He keeps a lot of safeties on hand. He moves those guys around and runs different coverages, subs them in and out as well. Like, they get playing time, the safeties do. He don't keep just the same starters on the field all the time at that big nickel and then other safety positions. That some guys start more than others, but you know what I mean. When you get down into the depth chart, he really does move those guys around a pretty good bit. So that's just kind of a signature card of this Avero defense. So that all that work, and I like Fuller better than I do Scott, by the way. That Fuller interview is good. If you're a Panthers fan, you hadn't watched the Fuller Zoom interview put out by the Panthers, go watch it. He's a smart young man. I like him on this defense a lot. He seems like a leader to me. But all that hard work that we've done so far and all the good things that we have done could quickly be undone by what happens at pick number 33. Like, the weight is building on that pick. Pick 33 and 39, those two need to be starters for this Carolina Panthers team, in my opinion. Now, you could have a backup center or a backup tackle there building for the future. I could see those things, but it really feels like to me 33 and 39 need to be starters. And where do we need most of those starters is probably on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll get into that discussion a little bit later, but that's just how things kind of feel to me so far, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, there haven't really been a ton of huge name signings if you're comparing them to some of the names that have been available, right? There's no Mike Williams. There's no T. Higgins yet, and there might not be. But I do think that Dan Morgan has done a good job of addressing just about every position that we know the Panthers have a need at. And the fact that they continue to dip into that relationship between Ejiro Avero and other players that he has coached before and it has been successful with before, that tells me that Avero has his hands all over these signings and what they want to be on defense, specifically when it comes to Nick Jones, who I'm assuming is going to be playing free safety mostly in our defense. But, like they said, they like to rotate players in and out. There's a lot of moving parts to this defense. Vegas Drew, let me get your thoughts. How has Dan Morgan done thus far to you in free agency?
I think he's been smart with what he's done. I think the piece that people are missing about, I think, his game plan is that, next year we're going to have a decent amount of cap space. I think he doled out a lot of 1-2 years that you could bail out of. I think the idea behind that is, you bulk up at the guard positions, try to improve that offensive line in hopes that you see something out of Young next year, have an improvement, and then if that jump is taken, then all of a sudden, you like, say you win 8 games next year and you show like, oh, you have some talent, then you get free agents that actually want to come here. Right now, when you're the bottom of the barrel, like you said, you have to overpay a little bit on Hunt. But I mean, that's a worthwhile gamble. I think he's kind of playing the smart where he can. I think some of those guys that, like Mike Williams didn't necessarily want to come to Carolina. And I think that's just what you see, unless, they threw the bag at him. And I think that's what's smart so far is that he hasn't wasted money on positions that are super risky, like a injury prone Mike Williams. I think, if we get, I know you guys are talking about this a little bit, certain corners or that Powers Johnson, that center. I think that's their. What's going to really hinge on that pick is going to be whoever Buffalo takes. Because if you're looking at Buffalo Bills, they have the exact same holes in their team. Now they have a better talent pool, but same holes in their team that Carolina does. They need a center. They need wide receivers. They need defensive linemen. They need corners. So really, I think you're going to end up with a weird combination of whatever they don't take. Like if there's someone that drops, like that kid that you guys keep Wiggins, I think that's someone that they could end up in Buffalo. But if Buffalo doesn't pick him, we might be able to end up with that spot. Same with some of those top flight wide receivers, or those not top flight, but the fringe first rounders that might drop to us.
Yeah,
and offensive linemen too. You have that's what's nice is that there's a lot of availability of players that are deep this year. We could even go with that D lineman. Who I'm kind of hoping to drop is that, and I know he probably there's like a 99.9% chance he won't. Is he out of Iowa? Cooper DeJean?
Oh, the corner.
Yeah,
the
he's
great
a corner
white hope, right?
safety.
Yeah.
Well, just because of how versatile is, I feel like he's such a like a Evero type of dude. Like, I feel like that guy could go, and he could be a returner.
I would love Nate Wiggins. I know a lot of people don't think that Nate would fall, but if Nate were,
he might. Like, I think he could.
That would be perfect for Evero, and then have him as a 1-2 punch with J.C. Horn. Like that would be an incredible shutdown corner duo for the foreseeable future.
It all depends on the runs. Like if there's a run on wide receivers or offensive linemen, something's gonna not get picked. Like corners. Like, oh look, there's still a top flight corner out there like Wiggins or so and so. Because you can't draft there's only 32 picks ahead of us. Something's gonna bust. And everybody gets their panties in a bunch when that was this wide receiver we want. Now we gotta go get one. So then it kind of snowballs, and I think that could happen, and you never know what position could drop.
Yeah, right. I think center. I really think that we have a good chance of getting that center. I really don't think. It's possible the Bills take him. That's true, but it's also possible the Eagles take him. Just because if the Eagles has him listed as their best player, and he's there, they'll take him regardless. They proved that last year when they took Carter. They didn't really have a need for him, but they took him anyway, and now they're lined up in a 3-4, and it looks like they have a need for him. So, and I mean, it varies how they how they do that. Each team has their own little ways of doing things and how they classify their own players and such. But I think we're going to have several top, what we say, top talented guys fall to us. Fall. The only question we take is who do we take? I think there's going to be a couple wide receivers available. I think, but I think we have to question: do we take that over a center? I mean, what if hypothetically say Worthy is there? I don't think he will be 100%. Don't say Xavier Leggette's there. Say you got a top wide receiver that you drooling over is there. Say Chop Robinson there or Darius Robinson. Both the edges are there. Say even a corner's there, and yet that Jackson Powers Johnson center's there. The combination.
And YB Jordan,
do you take?
Yeah, like YB Jordan said in the chat, Pickle, not everybody trusts Austin Corbett to be able to make that position switch over to center with his injury history too.
Right.
So
I don't think
that's another big position.
Yeah, I understand that. I trust him at center. I don't trust him to stay healthy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Let me I was about to say, let me get my man Christian in on the free for all. Christian, how you feeling about Dan Morgan and this free agency period thus far, and your belief of how bad we need defense with those first 2 picks in the second round?
Yeah, dude, I think Dan's done great. I don't know if you guys recall, but it's been talked about before the season even ended how badly we needed to address the offensive line, how we needed to build a culture, how we were scared that we weren't going to get any free agents to come to the Carolinas, a 2-15 team with a quote unquote meddling owner. And, I envisioned that the best way to tackle it would be to get your hog mollies on the offensive line. That would help the Bryce Young, that would help the receivers get open. It would help the running game, which in the running game would help fucking Bryce. I can go on, but they did that. We knew we'd have to overpay. I felt like they did that. That's exactly what I would have wished for. And they addressed that, which is why I also think, as much as I've been wanting, I would love a center, guys. Trust me, I would love it. I just don't see it happening, and I don't see it as a need. And I hate to burst some bubbles. I don't think wide receiver is as much of a need. I think we've gotten a little blindsided with the thought of these receivers getting open. But if you look at the roster, you have, a Thielen, Deontay Johnson, Smith Marset, Jonathan Mingo was a second-round pick. Say what you will, but it's hard to evaluate him on his rookie season with Bryce at quarterback and shitty offensive line play and shitty scheme in general. And look at the defense. You've got Shaq and the new I forget his name, the new guy at the inside linebacker, and that's pretty much it.
Jewel.
Yeah, Jewel. There's not much depth behind them. At corner, you have a guy who plays less than 50% of the downs in his short career, and then you have Boodle and Troy Hill. At edge, you got a new guy in Wanham. And,
DJ Wanham.
Yeah, another guy that has potential, but he's probably just going to be, subbed in on occasion there. So, dude, I think that, especially as another guy here was mentioning, you might see a run on receivers, maybe some quarterbacks, offensive tackles for sure. And you might see a top 3 cornerback sitting there at 33. And then at 39, you may be looking at a Peyton Wilson, or someone else at inside linebacker. Yeah. And here's the main thing, man. Because the receivers are so deep in this class, I think they're bringing in guys right now that they're trying to see if they can maybe, wait until the 3rd round, maybe even 4th round. And then when you look at center, as good as these guys are, man, and I ain't gonna cry. I'm gonna be happy if they draft one of the top 2, maybe even 3. But he's gonna have some veteran leadership on each side of him, so you can bring in a mid to late round guy and kind of, teach him with Corbett. I don't trust Corbett there either, but you have Brady. You have more to work with there, in my opinion. You have lot more depth in the offense right now. Just my opinion. My opinion.
Spitting facts.
I think center is at least. I listen. If I go areas of need, I'm gonna go edge rusher and then center and then wide receiver, because I think so many people has wrote off most of these wide receivers on our roster just cause. And I don't just cause. And I don't think this team has. And either way, I think 98% of Panther fans are going to lose their ever-loving freaking mind if we don't take a wide receiver at all in the second. But I do agree. I don't think I would take a wide receiver in the 2nd round, just because I think it could wait till the 3rd round. As deep as this class is, and I think there's going to be talent there. But they will lose their mind if we don't take one in the 2nd round.
And to me, a lot of the question about this draft is, when is there going to be a run on wide receivers? Because everybody will have that same mindset. Well, there's going to be a wide receiver that's going to fall, so I don't have to take one right now if I know there's a bunch of good ones available later. Like, I think it's very possible that Xavier Worthy, even though he ran the fastest time at the combine, he could very easily be available at 33. Consider the dude's only like 170 pounds soaking wet. He's not very tough off the line of scrimmage. He has that vertical threat, but if you get your hands on him, he's not necessarily as dynamic. So if that's someone that you're looking at, he might very well be available at that point in time. We mentioned Chop Robinson, the defensive end out of Penn State. Another one that I know my man Cole would be into is linebacker Peyton Wilson. Absolutely. Everybody's already comparing him to a young version of Luke Kuechly. So I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility to say that defense might be that quicker need, or that quicker fix of a need, even over wide receiver, especially depending on when that run on wide receivers does finally happen. Like, if it does start with the Bills, or if the Ravens decide to take another one, or whenever that happens, that'll also determine when the Panthers want to jump on it and attack that whoever's left available.
Hey Cody, let me, if I can I add something about my thoughts on receivers? I'm really leaning towards if you're gonna go receiver anywhere, I think you need an outside guy. You need a guy who can get the 50-50 balls, and the reason being is because I just don't see Bryce being able to wait for any receiver to clear the safety and chuck it. He doesn't have the arm strength, and I'm gonna keep saying that until he proves me wrong. And I'm okay with that, but he either needs short pass guys. I think we have that in Johnson, Smith, Marset, slot guys, and Mingo and Thielen. I think we need a guy he can just say, just chuck it and fuck it and give the guy a chance. And
yes, sir.
I think that's going to limit some of the receivers we have. So I got to say, I'm going to be a little disappointed if we get another, standard 6'2", 200-pound guy that's just a possession guy, like a Mingo or a DJ Moore. I think we have those guys. I think we need someone who can win some jump balls.
Yeah. So do you feel like there's a bust in this draft? Like, is there a wide receiver you don't want to see taken?
Keon Coleman.
Well,
all day, every day.
The names I hear that some people are starting to sour on is Keon Coleman, and some people don't like Xavier Legette as much as they did.
To me, Xavier Legette's a little raw. I will say that he's raw because if I'm not mistaken, and I may be, I think he's only really had 1 year of consistent catching or starting or whatever you want to call it. I don't think he was really active before that last year. That being said, though, I still like him over Keon Coleman. And people don't like it when I say this, but when I look at Keon Coleman play, I see Calvin Benjamin vibes. People literally get pissed off when I say that. He ain't nothing like Calvin Benjamin.
And he went to Florida State.
The people that tell me that were fans of Calvin Benjamin until they wasn't. So, I mean, and I understand the catching radius thing, but and like I said, I mean no offense against anybody. I've just heard too much of it. I've heard, if you draft Calvin Benjamin, you're going to get the catching ratings, and he's going to win all these catch jump balls. Then we drafted Devin Funchess. Oh, he was a tight end. He's going to win all these jump balls, and I didn't see bullshit. Before that, I heard that from Dwayne Jarrett. And the fact, I can go on and on and on. All the receivers we've drafted over the years, or we signed in free agents that was going to secure us jump balls. They didn't do no such bullshit. Excuse my French. I don't see Keon Coleman being different. Now, if he's to get drafted somewhere, be it us or anywhere else, and prove me wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But he's going to have to do it more than 1 or 2 games.
Okay. Hey, let me introduce my man from the Black Cat Panther podcast, my man Poppin' back on the Free for All. Pop, what's up, brother?
What's going on with y'all?
How y'all doing, man? Hey, man, how would you grade Dan Morgan throughout free agency thus far, man? I've got a list up of all the different signings that we've made. All right, go ahead, Pop.
I give it a solid B. But I want to touch on what y'all saying about the wide receivers and are the fans gonna flip out? They're damn right they're gonna flip out. We'll get a wide receiver. But this is my thing.
True.
The Keon Coleman and is able to get Pickles right. At least Keon Coleman has given you at least 2 years of what he can do. A lot of people are saying that he's an outside guy. He's not. He's a big slot guy. He wins in the slot. He's physical. He has good hands. He's only had 1 drop this year. Give me 1 second.
All right. I mean, that, also when making the comparison between Calvin Benjamin and Keon Coleman, they both went to Florida State.
Yeah, they're nothing the same. Keon Coleman runs better route than Calvin Benjamin.
True.
And he's had even if you look at his score as far as getting to the top of the route, he is like top 3 of getting to his route faster, which I think he clocked in at 22.58 miles per hour, even though he had a slow 40 time. But there's a difference when running a straight line and actually running a route. But my guy that I like, Xavier Legette is cool. He's another physical receiver, 50-50 ball type of guy like Keon Coleman can be. but he's limited in his route running. But hey, that all comes up to scheme. And what I mean by scheme, this is why I want Xavier Worthy. Now, I'm not talking about because he run a 4-2-2. I think that he's scary enough to you can use him as a decoy, but he also can run several different routes. He's so quick and shifty that he's the perfect little guy that you can have on the team that nobody's gonna really be able to catch. Now he has to work on his hands, yes, but I want to watch his pro day. He caught everything with his hands. Nobody catches, and you can work on that. But we don't have nobody like that on the team. We already have a big guy, which is so we already have 2 slot guys. We do not have a burner at all. And whether Bryce Young can get the ball to him or not, I don't care, because I feel like you should build the team better, not just because of this quarterback, because we don't even know if Bryce is going to be the future. So keep adding talent.
Yeah, and that's a question we're going to ask. We're going hold on, Pickle. That's a question we're going to ask a little bit later tonight too. Is in light of all of the moves that we've made, how long is that leash for Bryce Young in 2024? We're going to talk about that too. But really, whoever you're drafting, you're using the mindset of you're going to be able to pair his ability with Bryce's skill sets. And if you look at what Miami did with Tua and that sort of rhythmic offense, getting the ball out of his hand on time, then Xavier Worthy, he can take the ball to the house on a slant route. Like the dude has Tyreek Hill type of speed, man. Like Cody, that doesn't just come around that often.
Now check this out, Cody. Have you seen the new kickoff thing that they're trying to pass?
Yeah, the new rules. It confuses the shit out of me. But honestly, I was listening to them on McAfee or whatever talk about it.
So if you want a prime example of that, you can go to the XFL. That's what they're doing at XFL, I believe. And if you get the ball, if the one thing you need a good punter. Okay, he's going to have to be precision on where he places the ball. If not, your team on offense gets to move up to the 30. But imagine if you kick the ball off, nobody can run, not even the offense or the defense can run until the kicker gets the ball, and they're right on top of each other. Imagine a Xavier Worthy catching that ball back there.
Making people miss.
What?
Making people look stupid.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's just a hell of a weapon to have.
If he's there, I'll jump on that bandwagon all day to take him.
And Cody, you can't beat on these little ass receivers anymore. I'm okay with it.
I just don't. Right. I just don't think he'll be there, and I think I don't think he gets past Miami. If he does, Kansas City will scoop him up, or that's just what I think. I mean, but like I said, who knows what they have on their draft board? So.
Well, hold on, Pickle. They just got Marquise Brown. So there'll be no point of them going against Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. But I mean, Xavier Worthy's on a rookie deal. Marquise Brown, is he not just on a 1-year deal?
Yeah.
So and Tyreek Hill, a Miami fan asked me this the other day in space. Tyreek Hill's on he's basically on a 2-year deal. And at the end of that 2-year deal,
didn't he say retire?
Yes, yeah, he did. And because his very last year on his contract is basically a void year. Because if Miami doesn't cut him, they pay him like $30 million, and he'll be like 34 at the time anyway. So to me, it's just basically you get Worthy, you keep him there for a few years, and then you go on. But like I said, you really don't know what these teams have on their draft board, but I do like Worthy quite a bit. I agree with Big Papa. I like Worthy over the other two anyway. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, let me get some other people in here. My man Jake the Snake, man, how you feeling about our offseason thus far? And
I like Dan the Man. I like Dan the Man. I think the only thing that we're waiting on is for him to draft, man. Like he just has to, as long as he has a good draft and can keep drafting well and signing good people in the offseason, I think he's probably going to go down as our best GM. I mean, I ain't saying a lot because
damn, that's confidence.
I mean, until then, He's got to draft well. That's the only thing we're waiting on. And it's got to be, we got to get them later rounds too. Like we've yet to have a GM, at least that I remember, that can draft well in the later rounds. And by later rounds, I mean 4th, 5th, even the 6th, maybe even the 7th. Like we got to draft well down there too. We need that.
Man, he's gonna have to earn that contract. Not having a first round pick. I mean, he's really gonna have to do his due diligence on, on draft picks, man. I mean, I have a list right here of some of the moves that we've made thus far. And listen, man, your first 2 moves were paying, now you're paying over $150 million to 2 new guards that you have protecting your franchise and Bryce.
The best thing about them contracts is actually the breakdown of the contract.
The structure is amazing.
The structure is so. If a person sits down there and starts looking at the details of the structures, they'll realize Robert Hunt technically signed a 2-year deal with the team option. After that,
okay,
Damian Lewis signed the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's identical same thing. Just a little, just. But the structures are so dead. None of these deals that I've looked at tied the Panthers long term for a lot of money. None of these deals.
Let me.
Even the Robert Hunt. If you pull up the details and you go to post June 1st or pre June 1st, you'll find out that this is so well structured that it does it disservice to say it's a 5-year, $100 million deal.
Okay. The fact that you go out and sign 2 guards right away, though, it does say that you have to be better on offense. The Panthers have been terrible for 5 years in a row now on offense, and Dave Canales says he wants to run the football and he wants to be stubborn about running the football. So that seems to me like the direction that they're moving in. Let me get my man Strats back into Friday Free for All. Happy to have you again, Strats, man. Tell me what you feel about Dan Morgan and just free agency thus far. And are we going to draft defense with those first 2 picks in the draft?
That I don't know. I mean, first off, thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
And second off, in our weekly, daily, I guess it's really daily, Pickle and them. If you haven't, you probably already mentioned it, but they're hosting spaces like every single day, some in the morning, some in the afternoon, and I highly recommend getting a part of that. But I kind of said something recently, I guess a day or 2 ago, that it does feel somewhat refreshing. I don't want to be. I'll say this. This seems like the most active we've been ever in our off season with trades and things. So I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. But I don't know. It does kind of seem like maybe Dan being coming from being a player and everything maybe has more of a hand on or finger on the pulse of what's really going on. But I don't know. Honestly, it won't be until a few weeks into the season that we truly get to see what the results are. And then the other point is that I did ask when we were doing some drafts, like mock drafts and things, and it's one thing to say what we want, but it's another to say what do you think that the Panthers are actually going to execute. So I hope that we see probably a center and maybe a wide receiver, and then at that point maybe some defensive players too. So just kind of a guessing game just to figure out what they actually do. But I'll hand it back over to you guys.
They've really, my man Supreme Leader said earlier that it looks like they're setting up to try to be able to go best player available. And I think I agree with that, man. We haven't made, I mean, the 2 guards are by far our most major signings, but we haven't necessarily made any flashy, big-time moves. We've signed some serviceable names. Now you have to draft a superstar. I agree with what Don said earlier, too. You have to find someone that is going to be a starter for the Panthers, because your last couple second-round picks in a row haven't really done too much. And Panther fans are ready to see some good players be drafted by the team. Let me go to my man. Dominique, if you had your say, what position are you looking to draft with that 33rd overall pick? If you could pick any one of them, any position, what would it be? What player?
Honestly, probably receiver, either receiver or I'm going center because we desperately need a center. Because like y'all were saying a couple of minutes ago, as like Austin Corby's coming off that injury, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not confident in Austin Corby coming back playing center. So we definitely for sure need a center. But honestly, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna go receiver. They're gonna go receiver because I mean, like it's like you said, they want to pair a receiver with Bryce, one that's fit his skill set, and that's what I'm hoping and praying that as Xavier Worthy falls. But I just can't see it. I can't see it happening. But it'll be perfect for Bryce because I mean, that'll be basically like his Jameson Williams in college. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
be kind of like that. So yeah. Say get a receiver or like if because we need a corner though too. We definitely need a corner. We got to get a corner. So. I mean, hopefully Nate Wiggins falls. I mean, it's a couple of other ones that can fall too, but yeah, receiver. So basically, either receiver, center, or corner. That's my position.
Okay, and that kind of moves me to my next question: how long of a leash does Bryce Young have in 2024? And I think this kind of ties into that question, is because if you want to have this next year be a true evaluation year for Bryce and his potential as the quarterback for the Panthers, you have to put weapons around him. This is the time period in which you do that. But a lot of people have been wondering if maybe the Panthers, if we have another bad year next year, is everyone already going to be looking to move on? So my question to everyone, and this is the free-for-all, baby, man. Y'all jump in on whoever wants it. How long is the leash for Bryce Young in 2024?
I really believe it depends on how he looks. If we have a bad season, it's got to me, I think it has to look and say, well, if we had a better quarterback play, we would have won a lot of these. We would have won some games. Or if the offensive line, for example, let me use this as an example. If Icky struggles and it's clear that they're attacking the left position and the coaches have failed to put a backup left tackle that we have on the roster in to bench Icky, then that's where I question the sense of getting rid of Bryce, because it doesn't matter what quarterback you have. Well, I don't want to say what quarterback, any quarterback, but most quarterbacks, if you're not secure your blind spot, then you're going to go down anyway. So, but that being said, or if the receiver still ain't getting open, but on the opposite end, if it's clearly the quarterback can't play to the NFL, then I think, and if you have a high draft pick, I think you have to consider doing that. But like I said, to me, it would depend on how the team played and how Bryce played, not just Bryce, not just we suck, because we suck could mean many things.
And if it does suck, what's the context
if he sucks,
behind him sucking?
If he sucks, then he goes elsewhere.
He has to.
Bryce has no excuse.
At the very least, you bring somebody in to challenge his job, and not a fake challenge, a real challenge.
Yeah. Let me go to my man Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, he has to have like an absolute terrible season for him to be done 2 seasons. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Bryce Young's gonna get 2 years regardless. I mean, I think we can all agree with that. He's got at least 2 years.
Well, yeah, he's getting 2 years now. But how many years did Justin Fields get?
3, right?
And people, and last year, how many people on this podcast right now said they would trade that? They would trade.
That wasn't me.
Just for Bryce, just for Justin Fields.
That wasn't me.
I mean, let's talk about Bryce the quarterback, not Bryce the short guy. and most people don't want to talk about that. Because I mean, and yeah, he got 3. How many years did that dude San Francisco get? He didn't even get on the field. I'm not trying to be particular. I'm just saying.
You can also say Zach Wilson, Pickle.
In today, well, we can throw him in there too. In today's NFL, it doesn't matter because it's contract. Years ago, they used to let a quarterback stay on the roster forever when they drafted him because the contracts were humongous when they got drafted.
They didn't have the rookie on the quarterback.
They didn't have the rookie base. Go back and look at Matthew Stafford's first contract that he got drafted, how much it was. At that time, most rookies who got first round pick were getting paid as much as the highest quarterback in the league got paid.
Sam Bradford, the year before Cam Newton was drafted, signed one of the biggest quarterback contracts ever with the St. Louis Rams.
Here's the thing, Cody. I'm thinking, he's gonna have more than this year. Like Jake said, unless it's just completely obvious and horrible, they're gonna ride it out for this year, and I'm gonna say next as well. And I don't think they're gonna. I can't see them bringing in any competition. I would have liked them to, but I just can't see them doing that. The difference between him and Justin Fields is that you have a lot of picks and capital invested into Bryce. So even if we end up with a top pick next year, I don't see them taking a quarterback unless there's just a can't miss like Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning type of guy. But I think we're stuck with Bryce for good or bad for at least another 2 years.
Yeah.
So do you guys? Is there any quarterbacks for next year's draft that stand out to you guys? Because
there's at least 2 of them.
The Texas quarterback.
Yeah. So Quinn Ewers, the quarterback from Texas, he was a very highly regarded pick coming out of high school. And I'm a bit real. A lot of people are very divisive when I say this name, but I even think Jalen Milroe. From Alabama. Dude, I'm saying, listen, I'm a big proponent. I'm a big proponent of your wide receiver being a 2024 wide receiver, meaning they can do it all. They have the arm talent. They can run the ball. They can read defenses. They can make checks at the line of scrimmage. Alabama, they ask you to do everything. And I'm sorry, but Jalen Milroe has talent that to me says that he's similar to like Anthony Richardson, who came out.
He's on the rise.
I don't think. I also know that everybody doesn't love him yet, and he has some growing to do as a player. But I think that guy's ceiling is very high. So, and also, by the way, Dominic, there's always like one prospect every year that comes out of nowhere. Like, dude, nobody knew who Joe Burrow was the year before he was drafted, and then he became the consensus number 1 overall pick. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, even though there might not be like one name right now, you never know what player might just jump up the boards and be that can't miss type of prospect.
Yeah, I don't go out and pick up Golden Corral, Matt Corral from the XFL.
Poor Matt.
People kill me with that Shedeur Sanders shit.
I'd throw that to you, Cody.
The one thing I want to add real quick.
I like Shedeur Sanders.
If the overall assumption is Bryce gets a 3rd year, even if he's bad or the situation is bad, then they'll likely bring in a free agent, not just draft another guy. And I mean, if they draft another guy, they're not giving Bryce a 3rd year. If they draft a guy, Bryce isn't going to stay on the roster and work it out. Bryce is gone, just like Justin Fields is. Whether what you get is what you get. Now, if you planning to give Bryce a 3rd year with competition, it won't be a top-rated rookie. It may be a 2nd or 3rd round rookie. It may even be a free agent. And I'm going to name a few, even though y'all won't like it. Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. I don't think both of them spend 2 years with the Steelers. Maybe Dak Prescott. You know, I mean, I'm just going to name a few names out there that are free agency. You know, Trey Lance. Tua is actually a free agency unless they do the 5th-year thing on him, or they already have. Drew Lock. I mean, there's a bunch of other Winston Jameis. There's a bunch of others, or James Winston. Yeah. There's a bunch of others.
Nobody wants crab legs.
Free agents. Now, I'm not talking they're elite. Let's get that out of your head. They're not going to bring an elite guy in here to compete with Bryce Young. That's what I said earlier. A real competition, not a artificial competition. Because this little shit of, I mean, if they go draft a quarterback at 1 or 2, and Bryce is still on the roster.
Well, that's my question. Like, how bad of a season could the Panthers tolerate from Bryce before they were looking to move on? Go ahead, Drew. I think you were looking to.
I'd say if they're in the top 2 or 3, there's really no allegiance. Like, this is all new crew. Like, they have no allegiance to Bryce. I know they probably pumped up. Oh yeah, we could win with him, but now you're like, oh, can we go get our guy because Bryce sucks? Not saying that's a good fact. I'm just saying that's if that happens, that he's so like we're bad as a team and he's bad with us. They have no reason to keep pounding that drum of mediocrity out of him. They might keep him around one more year, but still draft another QB.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And again, it depends on who is available. If Quinn Ewers,
like you said, there's another Joe Burrow guy that just bursts on the scene. You're like, we got to have this dude.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's do or die for everyone. But
because what if the Bears are the trash team again next year and they're picking number 1 and we're picking number 2? Then what?
Yeah,
they're not going to get a QB.
No.
Yeah, Justin Fields is so damn smart. He got traded to the Steelers to be Russell Wilson.
Dude, he's been trashed. He's been like one of the bottom rated QBs. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he's so great. I'm like, just because he's like a less talented Lamar Jackson.
Russell Wilson hadn't been much better. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're paying him $1 billion.
I was a Steeler fan today, and he said, I ain't even going to watch football this year.
There's this dude on YouTube, That's Good Sports. I think his name is Brandon Perna. He's a Broncos fan, but he's pretty funny. He's talking about them, and apparently Pittsburgh fans want Justin Fields to win a competition so that he can be the starter over Russell Wilson. Bigger, stronger, a little faster, younger, but I don't know. Who knows? Hey, let me welcome my man JJ back on to the C3 Friday Free for All. My boy JJ, what's up, dude?
What's up, Cody? You hear me good?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, brother. How you doing?
Much, man. Yo, that's good. Sports. You was talking about him. He's funny as fuck, man. But
yeah, I watch him, man.
I feel Broncos sometimes. Broncos. But I hope everyone's having a good Friday.
Same, man. How you feel Dan Morgan has done thus far through free agency, JJ?
I think Dan Morgan has shown not just he clears Scott Fitter, but I think he's shown a little bit of trust and reliability. Like, we should be a little confident in this draft class that not just we're going to get 2 starters out of those picks in the 30s, but we're going to get really good starters. Like, Dan Morgan's going to pick the best guy available and that can help us the most. So I feel Dan Morgan's proven for us to trust him at least. He's addressing what we need and giving us something we can feel we have an identity behind.
Yes, sir, man. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody here on the Free for All, man. And in a little bit here, we're getting ready to do our Friday Free for All mock draft, where everybody gets an input on what the Panthers do at 33. But listen, before we do, I would like to give you all a word from our sponsors, man. North Carolina Legal Sports Betting is now officially live. To celebrate, FanDuel is giving new customers $250 in bonus bets for a limited time. New users who sign up through our link must deposit $10 and place a $5 first bet to receive $250 in bonus bets. The best part is that you get your rewards even if your $5 first bet loses. The offer can be claimed by registering with our link. as linked below. Or you can scan the handy dandy QR code on screen. Registering with our link not only gets you those fantastic bonuses, but it also directly supports the C3 Panthers podcast. This offer is only around for a couple of weeks, so do not miss out. Remember to use our promo code C3250 to claim your bonus bet, or hit the QR code with your phone. The offer is available for new customers who are over 21 and physically present in North Carolina. Please remember to always gamble responsibly. If you have a gambling problem, call 877-718-5543. Check the episode for description for the full terms of the offer, man. So there you go. We appreciate FanDuel for sponsoring us, man. You can receive up to $250 in bonus bets. We appreciate FanDuel. Hit that QR code if you would like to get in on that money. Let me go to my man Cole. Cole, I know we've been talking a lot about what to do at 33 and 34. Right now, if you had to pick what that position would be, what would you say that is?
The first pick of ours, I really do feel like, even if it is a reach, Dan Morgan could make a statement if he went on ahead and got Peyton Wilson right there. I really do. If he's serious about it, that whole press conference about wanting a dog and wanting a solid quarterback for this defense for the next 5 years, Peyton Wilson is that dude. He could definitely be a solid starter right now, but it's no telling what his ceiling is. I can't believe he's actually as good as he's turned out to be.
I need you to pick him at the airport, Cole. I need you to do that.
Dude, I'll go right now. You want me to walk there? I'll put his ass on a bike and walk.
He'd be waiting at his doorstep.
Oh, you know he would, with flowers and candy.
Is Peyton Wilson the guy that Kuechly was raving about? Is that the same one?
That's the linebacker.
If he's good enough for Luke Kuechly, Cody Lack, he's good enough for me.
Yeah. Come on, Cole. If you're gonna go pick him up, don't take flowers and candy. You ain't taking your date out to
man. What the hell you think this is? Nobody got time for that damn shit.
Give him a bottle of Jim Beam.
Take him a case of beer and wings. He ain't
Absolutely.
Hey, bro,
we're taking that man some hard liquor.
Hey, shout out to my man.
Flowers and candy.
Hey, Cole would do it though, Pickle. Look at
it. That's what Tar Heel fans do. You heard who said it.
Nah, I know Pickle didn't just turn his camera off with a big ass glass of milk and he talking shit.
Hey man, listen, shout out to my brother Kyle, Charlotte Sports 1. He said, C3, we are legion. Keep pounding. Dan Morgan has made a bunch of moves to fill as many holes as possible without strapping the franchise before the draft. I 100% agree, man. I think that we're setting up for best player available.
Well, there's another point with that too, Cody, in that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go
ahead. The other point is that, last year we had a lot of depth issues, and so I don't know exactly, but it seems like maybe we're starting to at least address, or Dan is rather starting to address some of that. And you can't do everything all at once. And actually, was it last night or 2 nights ago that I think you guys had the podcast, and I forget who it was that said it. Maybe it was Tony, and he said something about last year kind of having not enough depth at all these roles. But I don't know. I think maybe some of these moves are to kind of address some of that. So like some of these, you were saying some of these moves aren't like big name signings, right? Well, sure, but also like we're trying to fill in some holes and gaps and trying to slowly and steadily build through sustainable growth is what it looks like, is a good way to word it. And again, we still have to wait till a few weeks to see us play, but sustainable growth, that's what we want, and we want to fill all those gaps that we had before, and not just have first stringer, because then they get injured and then they go out, and then what? And then you got nothing.
Strats, how long of a leash do you feel Bryce Young has on him? Like, does he need to have an incredibly good year this year, or do you think of potentially another 2 or 3 years before we're deciding what we do with Bryce?
Not to nitpick the wording of it, but I would say he has some leeway. I think last year it was near impossible to know how well he really would be able to live up to with given everything was happening. I mean, he really got just the shit end of the stick on this because of the turmoil with the coaching staff in year one. I mean, it's just awful, and so I don't know what that's done for his confidence. I think you would see this year out. I think you would see. There's so many variables. Like what happened? Like we need to have good offensive line play. If we don't have that, then it's going to be difficult to kind of judge. If you don't have wide receivers that can catch the ball and are constantly dropping passes, it's going to be difficult to judge. Defense that can hold up, it's going to be difficult to judge without that. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I'm just ballparking this one, you give him this year, give him next year, maybe one more, and at that point, if things are still not meshing and we've made adjustments, Dan's been here for that time and he's made what we all agree on as, this is in the future that we would all, if we agree on that, the players we have are a decent player base, then I think by year, I guess that would be what, year 3 for him that, that's when we kind of
that'd be year 3. Yeah. That's when Tua had his best year. With the Dolphins, I would say, because that second year he was hurt a bunch. I think 2 or 3 years, and again, it just depends on how bad the year is. Like if we're staring down another first overall pick in 2025, then it's like, all right. And by the way, nobody's trying to push Bryce out the door. This is just us wondering out loud. Because another conversation that has been happening is our quarterback class last year, and when we took a quarterback in relation to this year, where you do have a Caleb Williams, a Drake May, my man from LSU, Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. So there is talent to be had, and yet you moved up for Bryce. So now they really do have to put weapons around him in order to get the best out of him and evaluate if he is that dude long term. And that's when I do agree with what Pickle said earlier, that if we don't draft a wide receiver, fans are going to be pissed. There's no doubt.
Well, okay, to the wide receiver point, I think we were mentioning this in during the week. Pickle remind me, I think it was a couple days, 2 or 3 days ago, we were talking about, well, shit, every day I guess we've been talking about wide receivers, but this particular topic of finding your number 1 wide receiver. I had asked the question in the spaces, and it was like, I think I worded it to say, how often is it that your number 1 wide receiver comes from a free agency or a trade versus in the draft? It seemed like I'm not going to speak for everyone here, but it seemed like a general consensus that everyone was like, typically you get your number 1 wide receiver, you hold on to him. There's nuanced cases like who went to the Dolphins that came from KC?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, so there's nuanced cases. Steve Smith, but he got traded way late in his career, right? So typically,
he was on the downside of a number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Stats, go ahead.
No, my point was finished. Pickle, go ahead.
Okay, I've noticed some people in the chat talking, and I want to be honest. I have an opinion. I'm gonna get it out here. I hope you don't mind, Cody. Folks, in my opinion, there are 3 centers in this draft that are day 1 starters. The rest of them may or may not be better than the backup center we have. And I mean that really, as far as their rookie year. Now later on, they may progress better, and that's Jackson Powers Johnson, Zach Frazier, and Cedric Van Pran. Now, I know people keep talking about waiting to the 4th round or the 3rd round to get a center. You better understand what you're waiting on. You better look at Austin Corbett's history, look at his knee, and ask yourself, can he start all year? If not, when he goes out, your starting center, because he will go out. When he goes out, your starting center is going to be Cade Mays. Y'all know I'm a Tennessee fan, but that is what it is. So you need to understand, if you put off drafting a center, till the third or fourth round and hope you're going to get one of these top three, and you end up getting somebody named Drake Nugget, who's only played center part-time, good luck with that.
That's a great point.
What about
that's a great point.
Nugget. I just threw a name out there. But, I mean, you know what you're asking for because you don't matter how big and good them guards are. If your center gets put on his ass, they're going to just a couple times. They're coming at your center every single game. The fact is, you better hope like hell Brady Christensen can figure out how to play center. That's the best thing.
Oh, that is rough, man.
I thought
that's what I say. In my opinion, you have to take center with one of them second picks.
To be completely honest with you, Pickle, I'd rather have Brady Christensen at center right now over Corbett.
I would like to think that Brady Christensen gets a chance to compete for the center job.
Man, it's like people bitch about him not having. People bitch about Brady Christensen not having long enough arms to play tackle. Well, at a certain point, you're a little bit too tall to play center. And Brady Christensen is like legit 6'6", 6'7", and it just doesn't necessarily like if y'all remember when people complained that Brady Christensen wasn't strong enough at the guard position, even though he was pretty damn consistent and pretty damn good. Well, it's like if Panther fans were going to complain about him playing guard, I imagine they're not going to be much different when he's playing center.
That's why I would draft this. Listen, if we draft the center,
I hear your point.
Everybody's going to scream. I won't scream. No, I won't say everybody. A lot of people out there are going to be happy if we take center at 33. Centers are bigger needs than you think. I don't think Austin Corbett makes it through training camp. I really don't. And that's strictly my opinion.
And that's a glaring hole, Pickle. Like you were saying, no matter how good your guards is, that center position, that's a glaring hole.
You've got your two tackles basically set. You've got quality backs up at tackles now. Even if one goes down, you're pretty decent. You've got two high-quality, expensive guards that's going to be there for probably 3 or 4 years. Why not work on the center now? Austin Corbett has 1 year left. Do you really think they're going to go in this year with Austin Corbett and Cade Mays as your only two quality centers?
Chandler Zavala. Although Chandler's never played
center. Chandler Zavala sucked at guard.
Well,
he did.
This is what I think Dan's trying to do.
I don't think he makes a 53-man roster.
Go ahead.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
maybe Zavala, yeah, with him, yeah, you're probably right. But I thought you meant for all the centers we have, because some of them arguably would. But then, if you think about this, there is some complexity here. Like mental things are also attributed to this. Like some of these guys were here during last year, during some of the bad times, having seen all that shit. I think Dan, having been a player, saw some of this as an opportunity to kind of give a restart to some of the players that we had, as well as the team mentality and mindset itself too. So what I'm thinking is that he's kind of trying to push that reset button in many ways and kind of do away with I shouldn't say do away, just I don't know how to word this very well, but I think he's just trying to. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a center, is what I'm trying to say, because
yeah,
we saw him trade all these defensive players out, and same with offense. You're only really keeping just a handful of guys, and most of them. Let me ask you this: which players have the longest tenure in the Panthers as of right now, considering all the trades and everything like that?
JJ Jansen.
JJ Jansen, yeah.
Minus
the old man.
Minus Jansen and the obvious one, but
Shaq Thompson.
Shaq Thompson.
Okay.
Maybe Taylor Moan.
Yeah,
Taylor Moan would be another one.
Wait a minute. Ian Thomas has been here for a long time, yo.
Yeah, Ian Thomas. But I do agree. Oh, Derek Brown.
Well, yes.
But you just mean
he busted out in beast mode last year, so like you have to.
Yeah. Right. But I do like that point that you're making though about center early. I mean, the first two moves that they made in free agency was to sign over $150 million to 2 guards. Like that, they are showing you that they know that Dan Morgan knows that you have to protect Bryce from that offensive interior. And that's why I agree. And we're getting ready to do a mock draft here soon, and we'll go through all these different roles for the Panthers. But I imagine O-line is probably still pretty high up on their to-do list. And honestly, I think both sides of the football. Like, I really don't think DJ Wanham and Clavon Chason are going to be enough to be a consistent pass rush duo for this year. Maybe Amari Barno steps up, who just recently changed his number back to 38. So take for that what you will. But I also wouldn't doubt it if another defensive end would potentially be available. Either Chop Robinson or the outside linebacker from Alabama that a lot of people were saying is a fast riser. So there's a lot of different options. Dallas Turner is what I'm thinking.
Cody, I'm gonna throw an idea here just because I brought it up in Spaces, and we did it on a mock draft. I don't remember exactly who we picked, but what do you think the response of the Carolina Panther fans would be if we took an edge rusher and a center in the second round? It didn't take
Pickle, you know the answer to this.
What edge did we
know the
take?
answer
We took Power Johnson, but what was the edge? I can't remember.
You know that a certain percentage of the fan base is going to be pissed, a certain percentage of the fan base is going to be excited, and a certain percentage is going to be neutral. And it doesn't matter what pick you make, it's going to be the same damn thing.
Yep. It's like some people have this in their head, and I've read it on Twitter, and some people have this thing that you don't take a center in the second round. That's
stupid. Why not?
Yes, I was trying to give a nicer way to put that. But you're right. If you look across the league, and you easily to do this, it's very easy. If you look across to the league, some of the best centers in the NFL were taken in the first and second round.
Dallas Cowboy, Travis Frederick, or unless I'm wrong.
Before he retired.
It's so funny you mentioned this, Pickle, because I have the data right now. I'm very close to finishing it. I'm almost done. I'll give you an answer in give me 20 minutes. I'll probably have an answer.
What's the center for the Kansas City Chiefs? Should have been a Carolina Panther, but in his
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, he should have been a Panther, but Scott Fitter decided we needed Terrence Marshall instead. So.
Hey man, real quick, shout out to Rod with the $1.99. Says we absolutely need a center with the first 2 picks, and Matau Lomax. Now, what do we do with Jamie Robinson? That's another name that we all just pretty much forgot about.
Jamie Robinson, listen, you always need a backup. Jamie Robinson's making dirt cheap money. If he can make tackles on special teams like he did last year, he's there.
Yeah,
they don't have to start to make a difference, folks. Backup, you always have to have backups and special teamers. And listen, some of the best safeties in the world, if you look it up in the NFL, some of the best safeties don't get their first start to their second or to the third or fourth year after they've had a couple years development.
Let me go Dominic, and then I'm gonna bring someone in here. Go ahead, Don.
Oh no, I was just saying. I think Jamie Roberts is gonna get cut. I mean, he didn't show. I mean, I just never forget that preseason game against the Jets when he was just jogging, man. I was just like, I don't know. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, they'll give him a chance. They'll give him opportunity in training camp and everything. So
I thought he had that dog in him.
Hey, you can rotate me out, Cody, if you need to. I'll be back.
I mean, we're good right now, man. Hey, let me introduce my man holding it down for the West Coast, Alex A14 Panthers. Alex, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just it's a nice, beautiful day out here in Southern California.
Yes, sir.
Just talking Panther football with the boys. So I appreciate it.
Hey, brother, we're happy to have you with us, man. How do you feel about Dan Morgan's offseason thus far, man? Are you happy with the signings? And what do you think this leaves us doing with the first 2 picks in the second round, 33 and our first 2 picks, rather, 33 and 39?
Yeah, I mean, off season so far, I mean, it's been, somewhat. It's been okay. Like I'm excited that they got guys for the O-line. I think we all can agree that Bryce Young, when it comes to him getting time in the pocket, he's a really accurate quarterback, and he gets the ball off, and it's nice to see. It's he's an accurate quarterback compared to Cam Newton, but as far as like creating, and he tried last season. He tried, but to me, anytime there was any sort of pressure up front in front of his face, it was tough. It was tough for him to get the ball off. Footwork needs a little bit of work. And, just some of the deep ball accuracy wasn't the greatest. But so I'm happy Dan Morgan's focusing on the O-line. And I agree with Panther Pickle when it comes to, possibly drafting in that second round a center, just because, Panther Pickle, like what he said, Austin Corbett, it isn't, he's injury prone. He's been hurt a lot of his career. I do believe he still will be the starting center when it comes down to the season. I do, even if we do draft a center. And just so that way we could develop that center a little bit. Because, I mean, if you were to even put him in just the starting role, you never know. I mean, rookie relapses, even like Ike Ekwonu, last couple of years. I mean, there's going to be times where, different blitz packages coming in and, or even false starts, stuff like that. Just rookie mistakes when it comes to like a rookie center coming in. So that's always tough. So I do believe that Corbett's going to probably be the starting center just with his leadership and just the knowledge of being on the O-line. So I do, unless he's injured. Now, when it comes to like that 39th pick, I know a lot of guys a lot of Panther fans want to see a wide receiver go either in that 33rd or 39th pick. I'm more of like kind of flip-flop where it's like offense, defense, offense. I didn't like that one year that we just drafted all defense. I thought that was kind of a step back. Even though I know we needed defense, it was weird that we just drafted all defense.
Yeah. No offense at all.
No offense at all. So, I mean, I want to kind of see it like a mix of both and kind of just go from there. If we do go center and wide receiver, I'm cool with that, but I'm also cool with like center and linebacker or even center and defensive end. I just don't like you said, Cody, I don't see the two guys that we picked up this offseason just starting at defensive end. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it's the most realistic. I think when it comes to the back end, like you have to either you got to get pressure from the D-line and have lockdown and just okay corners. Like that'll work. You could have okay corners and just by providing some pressure. But if you're not providing any pressure, it doesn't matter what kind of corners there are. You're going to get eaten up eventually. So,
and you don't want to have to blitz too much because we don't necessarily have the coverage linebackers to be able to really do that a lot. We're not going to be able to win with 4, so therefore you're going to have to blitz, and then you're leaving your corners on islands. Then you're going to need another corner. By the way, C.J. Henderson, now one of the newest members of the Houston Texans. So we're deficient on that back end, man. I'm telling you, out of all the names that people want, the name that we might need to fall to us the most, even though I don't think it'll happen, is Nick Wiggins. And no, I'm not just being a biased Clemson fan. I do think that we need another shutdown corner to pair with J.C. Horn. I just don't feel that he'll fall that far.
I don't like Cody. You know you want that tiger.
Damn right I want that tiger, JJ.
I want a close up.
I want that tiger.
I want a close up on you, Cody. If we draft a Clemson player, bro,
we see that reaction in detail. I'm sorry, bro, but I have an opinion that I think we'll go center. I think we'll go center at 33. I think we'll go edge or wide receiver at 39. Even though I think we should, and then I think we'll go
linebacker. Maybe.
I think no. I think we'll go edge, either edge or wide receiver at 39, and the other one at third in the third round. With the 4th round pick, I think it's going to be that Clemson linebacker.
Oh,
Trotter?
He was right there.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah. I shout out to his dad, brother. I agree with your ass. I don't.
Yeah,
care
he said
if my
I
son
would
was
never
drafted
pull for
by
my
the
son.
Cowboys.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Jersey.
Yeah, man. Let me get Be Good back in here. Go ahead, man.
No, you good. I don't want to be on here for about 5 minutes.
You're good,
Hey,
man. You're good.
I don't know if y'all was saying I was kind of arguing with Broski Bear. Hey, Pickle, since I know you a little bit more of a historian than I am when it comes to football, when was the last time the Bears was relevant? Like 2005, 2007? It was around now talking about when they went to the Super Bowl that 1 year, right?
Ron Rivera was their defensive coordinator then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the last time they've been relevant, though, right?
Let me rephrase that. When they went to the Super Bowl, Ron Rivera was their defensive coordinator, and they went into the playoffs. They went kind of deep in the playoffs, I think. But I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
2010. Okay.
Okay, but it's been a long time, and last time I said it correctly, the Panthers, even in the late 2010s, we was kind of a playoff team, right? Didn't you say that?
Not in 2010, but I understand.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 2010s, like late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under Fox, we was good. We was bad. We was good.
Okay. I'm just trying to. No. I'm just getting to the point. I'm just trying to represent for Broski Bear. When it comes to the Bears and stuff like that, he said we're a founder franchise. But how many Super Bowls they got? One.
Yeah.
I know they had one in the 80s, right?
Yeah. I understand what he was saying.
Hey, Pickle.
I got you. Legendary. Last time I remember though, watching them play and stuff like that, we can say they haven't really been relevant since the pyramids, right?
Right. Legendary franchise don't always mean successful franchise. It's like people go on these mocks all day long, bro, and they get every position of need. And they'll say, I've got all these positions of needs. We needed two corners on the 6th and 7th pick. I got two corners. Like it's supposed to mean something.
Hey, let me.
I'm about to hop back off, but it's just one thing he said. Like some reason he brought race into it when it comes to arguing with me. I don't care, like I said, when it comes to certain things in life. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for him to say, "Oh, I'm a white man," I can tell by black and by your ignorance and stuff like that. That's one thing I don't play with. You get what I'm saying? Hey, bro, if you ever want to hit that link, you can.
I didn't catch he said that, or he would.
No, it's good, Pickle. He's just trying to for me. That's kind of degrading to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
maybe it's just the times he's been brought up and stuff like that, but it's just stuff like that I don't rock with. I'm not trying to tell y'all to ban him and stuff.
No.
Hey, I say, hey, jump on the chat. But if you feel that way, if I'm ignorant, you can always speak to me because I'm pretty sure I'm making more money than you if you're not retired.
Wait, who are we talking about? Hey, hold on, Bigger. Who are we talking about?
Brewski Bear.
Yeah, like I said, bro. I could fight 4 times right now and make more money than you did in your whole career right now.
Who is?
I'm just saying, me and him was going into it, but when he sit there and call me ignorant and stuff like that, and we all know that stereotypes. I ain't saying he trying to say this. I ain't trying to say he's trying to say that.
Wait, hold on. But Pico, was he in our chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I didn't. I must not have been.
But you get what I'm saying. It's okay to have disagreements, but it's just certain things like that I don't like.
No, I hear. Listen, we don't condone any types of ignorant.
No, not y'all. Y'all cool, but you get what I'm saying, though. It's I'm gonna always have a level of respect when it comes to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And man,
so I'm just trying to call him out. If you want to hit that link, you can. Because I'm not in my feelings or nothing like that. But I'm bro.
But no, this is what we do. We leave all the ignorant shit. We leave it all off, man. Ain't nobody trying to start no fights around here.
Right.
I'm not trying to. I'm just calling that out. I'm not saying.
No, I know, but I'm just saying we're not going to. I know. I hear you. I'm just saying we're not going to drag all the drama from the chat room into the show, though. That's all.
Right.
But I hear
you can handle stuff like that. We know that. But some people don't have the ability.
I'm just saying, you want to. It's just I always say.
Listen. I want to bring this back to Panther football, though, gentlemen. The reason why
you go. I was just trying to see if he was gonna jump on or not, but
he ain't jumping on.
It's good. I just wanted to see if he would jump on the stuff, like I said.
I got you, but he ain't about to.
Oh, y'all, I handle my business. I ain't trying to hold y'all off. Great show. I'm listening. Hey, everybody talk your stuff. But dude want to call me ignorant. Okay, you want to be an old man and stuff like that. Take your
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro. My question is though, on the offensive line and defensive line, if you had to determine right now where you think the Panthers are moving towards, offensive line or defensive line with those first two picks, inclination wise, I'm just saying I think it's O-line based on what we've done in free agency thus far. Let me first bring Ant in, and then Strats has some stats that he was going to read to us. Ant, what's up? Appreciate you back on the free for all, brother. What's up, dude?
What's up, boys? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I just thought I'd come on.
What up, Ant?
What's up?
What's up, Ant? How do you feel about Dan Morgan through free agents?
Yeah, I mean, I think JJ said it. Like, he clears Scott Fitter. He's just making obvious decisions. Like, okay, yeah, our offensive line sucked last year. You go out and you pay some guards. Our defense, we don't have the necessary. And I'll talk about this in a sec, but we don't have the necessary money right now to go out and. I don't think he wants to spend big money on the defense. You're just signing guys that are familiar with Evero's system. All I talked about last year was, hey, if we had a plan, if we had players that like understood what was going on both sides of the ball, you would have gotten better play for them. It's just like with Steve Wilkes. They bought into what he was doing and it worked. So if they're buying into Evero's system, which they've already played in, a lot of these guys are solid signings. They're just filling holes. They're nothing special. And this is my next point. I know we've gotten shut down by a lot of, I feel like we've been used as leverage for some of these free agents, but this is just where we are, man. Eventually there'll come a day where we're going to be able to get some of those top guys, but Pickle always says free agency isn't won in March. I mean, the off season isn't won in March. And yes, I do agree with that, but there's always that one move to a team that can really excel your team, right? So I don't think we're there yet. I've been saying this, Dan. I sent this super chat in on Tuesday. Dan's gonna have to prove himself in the draft. That's really all that he has to do. And that goes back to my original point. Like, a lot of these free agent signings are common.
Do you trust him to do that?
Anthony, how do you quantify prove himself in the draft? You can't know the outcome until they play.
That's what I'm saying. We'll know once these guys play. But it's also this, Strats. In these last 5 years, and I kid you not, half the players we've drafted, no one even knows a fuck about. Like the players we brought in for 30 visits, these are actually guys that you watch in college football on a daily basis. So that gives me an indication that he has some sort of better idea of evaluating talent than Scott Fitter does. Like, I didn't know who the hell Jonathan Mingo was last year. I didn't know who YGM was either. I didn't know who a lot of these guys were. And the guys that I wanted
I knew who YGM was.
Oh, fuck out of here. He was not. No.
He went to Penn State.
He's just trying to fuck you up.
But no, I agree, man. I didn't know who the hell any of these players were we was drafting a lot of times. Especially DJ Johnson. Who the hell is that? But, Anthony, I think you're right on the whole. Dan Morgan got to prove himself with this draft class. Is there certain players you think he should positions he should address first? Do you think that would help? Like,
yo, my bad. I got kicked out. Are you talking to me?
Like, which do you think will leave you more satisfied with how Dan Morgan went by with the draft? Like best players available and getting the most best talent per se, or addressing certain holes?
No,
better?
We're not in the situation to address. Like Cody said it. We just need a damn starter. I don't care what position he plays. If we draft
That's exactly
a really good,
what I've been saying.
If we draft
if
we draft a really good center, who cares? That's a home run pick. If we draft, and that's been our issue. Like, some of these picks, like, okay, so like back in 2021, I didn't think J.C. Horn was the best. I know why they drafted him, because we needed him, but he wasn't even the best player at his position. We got to stop drafting for need. We're not in the position to just, oh yeah, guys, we can just, we need this guy. Guess what? We need a lot of things. Just pick the best player on the board and be happy with it. That's why I haven't really. That's why what I'm doing, and I suck at this draft stuff. I don't know a damn thing. But I'll tell you this: what I've been doing in my draft boards is going through some film and looking at who I think is the best overall player at pick 33. And some of the names that I've gotten on my mock drafts, which I think the best overall player, if he's there, is Nate Wiggins. But I don't think he's going to be there. But I think if he falls, I think he's the best player. On top of that, my second is Jackson Powers Johnson. I think he's the other guy. These wide receivers, I don't know.
Is that the center from Oregon?
Yes. These wide receivers, I have no idea if we're going to be able to get one of them. And here's my last thing. I've been one of the proponents of getting a lot of wide receivers. But I also think that with Deontay Johnson and improved run game and cohesion on offense, I think Bryce Young could be able to survive this season without getting another guy. And here's the other thing. I'm saying this right now. If we have a top pick next year, you can always go draft a top wide receiver. Just like the Falcons did with Julio at pick 6. Like, wide receivers are a position that, like, you can get in the draft. Like, you can get them very easily, right?
You can refill on them very easily.
Soon.
A lot of the talent falls into the second and third round sometimes, and they end up being big time talent.
Do you think Dan Morgan's trying to build this team like how it was built in 2003 when they went to the Super Bowl, or you think he's just, like that? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't think
build that whole line.
I'll say this though, because the 2003 team was a surprise team. They weren't supposed to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think he's I don't think he's banking on. Yeah, we're gonna build this team. Plus, the NFL's different. That was 20 years ago.
I mean, we ran the football. Like we're trying to do this next season. We're going to try to run the football. We're building the O-line. That O-line to me was a better O-line than they've ever had.
Now, wait a minute. We didn't build. We got lucky with that O-line in 2003. Most of those were just free agent pickups. And I mean,
we just picked up some free agents.
That's what we did
in 2003, we got lucky. And I'm gonna be really honest with you. One of the main reasons why we went to the Super Bowl was because of a kicker and a power running game that nobody figured out how to stop.
And the defense, I think that NFC Championship
and that defense was elite.
We held the Eagles to 3 points to go to the Super Bowl.
Right. And you got to look at the history of who we took. At one point, we took Mike Rucker in the second. We took Julius Peppers in the first. Those were your starting ends. And then
I'm saying we got a second round pick.
And then you took, and then you ended up taking Chris Jenkins in the second as well at 2 different draft classes. Yeah. And those were strictly defensive guys. And that was your front four. That was your front three. Add a veteran defensive tackle in there. Okay. With the
I'm just curious because
built out with veterans basically, except for Morgan. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it really matches. I think Dan Morgan's. Here's my opinion, and Anthony, you're right. We haven't drafted well since God knows when, and a lot of that I think goes back to me. And I've tried to set it before. Last year we ain't had no real NFL quality GM on this team since Marty Herney, and even the last few years he was here, he sucked. So I ain't saying that he was ever great. So don't misunderstand that. But we haven't had good quality drafting in a very long time. And even when we had quality drafting, the head coaches were more involved with who you selected, and they were allowed to be involved with who you selected.
But I do find it interesting, though.
Yeah, the last few years, the NFL has reverted to allowing GMs to do everything all by themselves, and we haven't had a talented coaching staff to actually be involved in drafting.
Can I respond to Pickle real quick? Because I'm not.
No, you cannot, Anthony. No. You cannot do that. No.
So I'd like to get in on this too after Anthony.
Yeah, and then we're gonna start the mock draft here soon. Go ahead.
No, and I agree. Like, yes, we've sucked at drafting, but it's what I said earlier. We need to we're drafting the wrong players for the wrong reasons. I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like if Jonathan Mingo went to a team if he went to the Chiefs and he could sit behind some guys, that makes more of a pick for that team. Like, for us, like you said it earlier, I was listening on the way. On the way. I was listening earlier. You were talking about Jalen Carter. The Eagles took him because they had basically no holes. They just came off the Super Bowl. They're like, let's just take him. But
Yeah,
for
it's a
us,
He's
plug
the
and
best
play.
player. He was the best player on the board.
It's a plug and play. But wait,
why would you
Okay,
not
go
take
ahead.
him?
Sorry, we did interrupt him. Go ahead.
no, I just meant we need to still take the best available player, even if we think some holes are filled. That
No, if
doesn't
it's
give
like a
us the,
safety, you're not taking that. It's
That's
not.
why I keep saying we should go deep. That's why I keep saying we should get
There was a time.
Travarius Sweat.
There was a time the Panthers took a center in the second round. We didn't need a center. We had a guy that was on the team for a couple of years, a late 7th round pick, I think he was, and he did real good at center. And when you just signed a free agent to like a 5-year deal.
I hear what you're saying, Pickle, but I also hear. But hold on, I also hear what. But listen, but I also, but listen. I also hear what Strats is saying, that there is so much on the line with this season, like in having to see, one, some development from Bryce, but two, just a sign of life in general after being the worst team in the NFL for the past couple of years, that you have to hit on some big time talent. And if you take a safety at pick 33, it's almost like, well, you're not necessarily being serious. Like I feel like we all unanimously agree that there's a certain few positions that are kind of in play at 33 and 39. That's wide receiver, which is obvious. It's offensive lineman,
cornerback,
cornerback,
which is another huge one. And I would even say linebacker if the right player is there, if the right one is available for what Rivera is wanting to do.
We can get a D tackle if we can.
You just brought
let me read the chat real quick. Nirvash with the $12 says everyone seems so fixated on the first 2 picks we have, and our problem over several years has been not hitting on the mid and late round picks.
There you go.
100%. Yeah. I'm gonna let Christian go. Then Strats had some stats he was going to read off about center, and then we're going to hit our mock draft. Go ahead, Christian.
Just a couple of things, like don't forget, guys, and you guys have a podcast, so you do have some listeners here, and the more people that hear this stuff, the more it gets spread throughout Panther Nation, in my opinion. But it's not just drafting; it's also development. It's the coaching, it's the scheme. So at the end of the day, you kind of have to trust what your team's doing. In this case, it's Dan Morgan making player personnel decisions along with the coaches. But I wanted to talk about this best player available, because this is a thought I've had for decades. That dude, I'm calling bullshit on it, man. Like, it's all, they all say it's best player available. They all say that. Well, when we took J.C. Horn, we felt he was the highest on our draft board, and that's at the end of the day. Sorry to sound like Rule here, but it's always going to come down to, do we believe them or not? Did they really feel that was the best player available, or were they just ranking them a little higher on their board because it was a position of need? I've yet to see, a team outside of the Packers taking a quarterback, like a really kind of reach for a player that they in a position they did not need. So I think it's with consideration to what the current roster is at. And
to add on to that point, Christian.
Hold on, let Strats go. Let Strats go. He had
Pickle he's got something. He's got something brewing. Pickle, go ahead, and I'll take the.
Good.
Okay. I just wanted to throw this out there. Sometimes you can tell just by knowing the team and looking closely. For example, Greg Little, we drafted him. He wasn't the best player available. He was just a position in need, and they were scared they weren't going to get a quality one. When they took Ryan Khalil, like I mentioned, he was literally the best player available. They
exactly.
Didn't need a
it worked out.
When you took, right, exactly. When you take certain positions, when they took Trey Boston, he really wasn't the need. He was the best player available, and he turned out to be a day one starter. When we took Trey Turner, they knew from day one they were going to start him. They had some veterans they were going to start. We drafted him. The first thing Ron said was, "Oh yeah, he's a day one starter," and they just knew that right off. Some of the best players you get like that. Now there's players that for example, Matt Rule was just he was a liar every day of his life. The only reason why he took J.C. Horn, is because in the previous draft,
he wanted CJ Henderson.
he wanted CJ Henderson, and Marty Herney flipped the I'm GM, I'm under contract that I can do the first round picks. So, but in the end, Matt Rule won that because Marty got fired the next year.
Can I throw this in real quick before Strats goes?
No,
This
go for it.
This conversation's good right now. The reason I know people are going against what me and Pickle are kind of saying, but let me put it this way. When you're a rebuilding team like us, the more amount of best player available players you get, the less holes you'll eventually have.
Well,
which means
within
then
reason,
those drafts down the road become easier to figure out. Okay, we already know we need this. We already know we need this. Like Cody was saying, we'll take a safety at that'd be dumb. Yeah, we're not going to because they have 3 safeties already. You look at just like they can be a best player available at a certain position and need at the same time.
It's a different mentality of thinking because there's
that's
Panda's comment.
What?
I'm sorry.
But let me let Strats get off. Go ahead, Strats.
Yeah.
It's a different mentality. This isn't what I wanted to say, but it's a different mentality of thinking, and I can relate it back to like maybe this is ridiculous to use as an example. If you're playing an MMO, a massively multiplayer online game, you're playing like World of Warcraft. There's different mentalities that players might have, which you would attribute back to like this would be a GM thinking, where you have your player that's like, I need to upgrade all my weapons like immediately and be really, really good at combat. And then you got someone else that's like, well, I really like crafting. I really want to get into that. So I'm not going to make this point very, very clear. Let me just say this. What I think is happening is I think that there's some bit of, I guess, for lack of better terminology, peer pressure that can add up to, let's look at the Bryce pick last year. I think some of the media and the swarm of everyone surrounding the topic might kind of, I think there could be a chance that you have some GMs sometimes that are fearful of making the wrong decision, and so they end up making maybe. I'm not saying Bryce is the wrong decision. I'm just saying in the past you might have GMs making the wrong decision because they were trying to not make the wrong decision, and it's caused them to make the right.
Like trading up for DJ Johnson.
That's exactly who Scott Fitter was. He was so afraid to draft himself that he would make panic moves, and it failed either way. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and pick the player instead of trying to do too much in your head. And that's where he screwed up the most in his tenure here. That's why we haven't hit on picks.
But let's be honest, guys. They're not going to take an offensive tackle if one falls. It's
they're more honest.
So can I use this to transition to offensive lineman center positions data? Now listen, before this, I just threw this together like really quickly, and I'm multitasking because I'm listening to you guys, I'm adding in the conversation, but also trying to make sure that I keep up with the conversation, and I'm also trying to code at the same time. So I can do a lot better job of this if this is what I'm asking for. Someone find me a top 100 rank list of centers. That's all I need, and I can finish and complete this. But in the meantime, I had to circumvent it by finding, those crappy websites that have a million ads on them and some random person's blogging about something, and it's basically their opinion. So I had to use that for the top centers, which they have like Kelsey and stuff in there. So I don't know. Let me throw these names out there. Just these 5 names. You tell me if they're good. I don't know because they're kind of 2017 onwards. 2011 onwards. So Kelsey, Ethan, POC, IC.
Pochik. Yeah, Pochik's been around.
Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, he plays for the Lions still.
Brian Allen.
Yeah, he was the Rams center. He just
Drew Dahlman.
Don't know him.
David Andrews.
Yeah.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah, he played for Baltimore, right?
Okay.
Linderbaum played for Baltimore, and David Andrews was the New England center for years.
Right.
Good. So here's how those 5 break down. Well, I gave you more than 5, but here's how some of those 5 break down. Kelsey was 6th round pick, 191 overall. Ethan, how did you say his last name?
Pochik.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, Ethan Pochik.
Okay. Then round 2, 58 overall. Frank Ragnow is round 1, 20th overall. Brian Allen is round 4, 111 overall. Drew Dahlman is round 4, 114 overall. But the real breakdown here is that the most common out of every center ever drafted, well, okay, maybe not ever. This data only goes back to 1980. Out of every, then we can get into whole things about rule discussions and about game changes, because I would almost kind of squeeze the data together and have like sets of data for certain year frames, because the rules do change. But round 6, we had 45 of the 309 total centers drafted. Round 6 seems to be the most popular round. Then round 7, following that, round 2 at 39 centers going in round 2 for all time.
Is that the image that you sent me on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull this up.
Yeah, and it's I took a screenshot on my computer, so I'm sorry.
You're cool.
It's really crappy format. I can put it. I mean, like I said, I'm just
that's
tossing it together last minute.
You're fine, dude.
So that's the round on the left, and then the right side is the amount of players in that position drafted in that round all the way back to 1980.
Good guy.
Damn. So it seems, if you're just basing it off of these numbers, that the later rounds are better for picking up centers than some of the earlier ones. Am I reading that correct?
Well, no, I mean, yes. I would say in quantity wise, yes, but in quality wise, we can't. I need that's why I'm saying I need a list of 100 centers, top to bottom, best to worst, that we can cross with this and only look at their data and see them. You know what I mean? That's the next set of this. I just don't have time to. I could.
No, I mean, I hear
don't know
you.
where to get that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of info to need. But I do agree though that. Yeah, go ahead.
This goes back to Christian's point, and this is why this conversation has so many variables. Because Christian's talking about how, like, it still depends on, you got to be able to develop.
I'm next.
Players. And for example, Jason Kelsey, great center. He was also drafted to a team that naturally always has a good offensive line. The Rams pick, the Brian Allen he was talking about, the Rams, they live on 4th round picks. That's all they do. They just hit on 4th and 5th round picks, and then they're amazing. So, like, again, this does come down to drafting and developing at the same time. And with that conversation, this goes back to my main issue with my concern about Dan Morgan. And JJ brought it up earlier, and I still can't give a definitive answer because I don't know. But this is the exact reason. I'm hoping he can draft players that we know of and that Canales can develop them. Because, for example, Chandler Zavala, this goes back to the Scott Fitter conversation. Chandler Zavala, guess what? We drafted him because he played 5 games with Icky. That's the only fucking reason. He was not a top-rated guard, or he was not highly valued by like, he's not that good. So, like, my issue with this whole thing is that, like, you can tell when, like, a player you draft has a better bust percentage than boom, but at the same time, you can still salvage that player depending on where he goes and how they develop. That's why I brought up earlier about how Jonathan Mingo would have been a great pick for the Chiefs, not for the Panthers.
Right. Real quick, the one thing I want to, in 2012,
let me bring
we in 2011 actually, a guy named James Anderson, a linebacker for the Panthers, had a breakout year. Former 3rd round pick, breakout year. We resigned him to a contract that breakout year. Well, then lo and behold, we had this middle linebacker named John Beeson that was very good. We had Thomas Davis. Now, common sense tells you you've had all 3 on long-term deals. You don't go out and draft a linebacker. In the 2012 draft, we did. Drafted a linebacker in the 1st round. Me, a lot of people blew up about it. It was a stupid pick. You had other needs. I wanted Fletcher Cox, but a lot of people wanted Riley Reef, a tackle, because we had massive needs at tackle. We'd have left tackle. We'd had tackle issues for years because Gross was the only good tackle we had. So we didn't think it was that hard to go draft a right tackle. But Hurney was stud point. They wanted to draft this linebacker. Guess what? The best linebacker we ever drafted. And in the start of the 2012 season, James Anderson was a starter and Thomas Davis was a backup to James Anderson.
Yeah, it's a great point, man. It's a great point.
You don't know who you're going to draft. You don't know who you turn down in a draft. Just because you think you got that you don't need that guy. If the talent exceeds the position he's at, or if the talent exceeds the round he's at, you take him and you deal with it later. That's why the Baltimore Ravens are one of the most talented teams in the league right now. They drafted a center for safety a few years ago, and everybody said they don't need a safety. They're glad they drafted him.
Well, look, speaking of draft, go ahead, JJ.
I wanted to add on to what Pickle was saying real quick, because what Baltimore does a lot of times is they replenish. Like, they have Bradley Bozeman, and they replaced him with Tyler Linderbaum in the first round, and they even add to what they're stacked at. Like, they signed their defensive tackle this year, but they've been had already other defensive tackles that they paid and drafted and developed along the years over time, and they have multiple defensive tackles, which is why I think defensive tackles should still be on the table at 33 or 39 if one of the really good ones from Texas.
Look, man, speaking of what's going to be on the table at 33 and 39, let's jump into it, man. This is the third mock draft of the
Marvin
year
Harrison
for the Friday
Jr.
free-for-all. Well, we ain't started this shit yet. Let's hit the start button, and hey, man, you guys are the draft room, and you will determine what we're going to end up doing, man. So let me scroll up.
Before we start, how do we determine how? Because were you just going to yell it out? That doesn't seem.
Well, no. So
Free
it's
for all.
So we'll do the trade offers first. The Baltimore
rules?
Ravens. Well, yeah, I'll read off all the
No
players
way.
available, and then collectively we'll decide what player we want to draft. The Ravens want us to go back way too far, all the way to 93.
Yeah, no
Screw
way.
that. Reject. Texans want us to go back to 42.
This
Yeah, I
is
think
like
that's
whatever algorithm they have that's running this stuff. I would love to take a peek at, because it's not practical. It's not real.
well, most of them.
Yeah,
are.
but nothing's practical.
None
Most
these
of them
mocks
aren't,
are
though.
practical. None of them. I haven't. Yeah, they're not even.
Even
PFF
PFF is
the only
good,
practical thing is that draft order on draft night when they're
Well, you would
actually
think that
selected.
Right.
you would
That's
think
the
they would
only
want the Panthers
practical.
to move up, right? So they would want to
easy.
take the bait on moving up. So they would want to lose
Yeah.
some picks to move
Well,
up.
no, I could have hit the trade button before we got to our pick. But
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Right. It's much easier if you sit there and you do the mock from the beginning to the end. To me,
Should we
it's more
just
realistic.
deny all trades
Go ahead.
and flat out for this and just run straight? to the-
Yeah, I mean, until we find an offer that's actually worth
Fair
it
point.
for us.
Yeah, fair point.
I'd say reject. No way we're going back that far. All right. So we have interior O-line available. Graham Barton out of Duke. Ladd McConkey is available.
Click
Ernie Rack.
Okay,
Who?
Zach Frazier's available. I started to say click interior offensive line, but you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, there he is, right there. Keon Coleman.
Zach Frazier.
Ennis Rakestraw.
Zach Frazier. I will pick the safety before I will pick a freaking kicker before I pick Keon Coleman.
Do you think Zach Frazier will drop back
Y'all are
to?
just
Yeah,
haters,
I'm just that
for
kind
no
of hater.
reason.
How far do you
Right,
think
no.
Zach Frazier drops
No,
back?
in reality,
Well, we have. Hold on. We also have the 39th pick. So I kind of think I would, if I'm a betting man, I would try and pick up Zach Frazier, but pick 39.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, we did do that last time we did this, so maybe we might want to do something different and turn, just to do something different. Let me see what offensive lineman or, I mean,
what if you this sounds asinine, but I mean, and I'm not asking you to do this right now, but what if like you could take your
Javondre Sweat.
6th, 7th round pick next year, trade to move up from 39 up like 2 or 3 spots just to seal the deal, to be like, make sure, like if lads who you want or whatever you want is still there.
Yeah, but we can do that. That's available to us. So just have to tell me before it gets to
I don't see
pick
GM
39.
making the move.
Right now, we're 33. This is us right here. So then it goes New England, Arizona, Washington. But this is and also if there's a certain position you want me to look at, just tell me.
I'll side with the majority. I have no opinion. I'll side with the majority.
All right, so Alex, you still there,
Roy
bro?
Franklin
What position
is
do you
there.
want?
I'm going Coleman.
All right, we got one vote for Coleman. We know Pickle is not going Coleman. Pickle, who do you want?
Give me Lad McCulkey.
All right, Lad McConaughey, 1 for
Hey,
Kalen
Cody.
Coleman.
Hey, Cody,
Yeah.
my vote goes to Coleman as well.
All right, we got 2 for Coleman.
Can I
And
switch what I said to siding with what Pickle says?
Give me
Lad,
2.
all right.
I'm with Lad. Give me 3 for Lad McConkey.
All right, I've got 3 for Lad,
Another
2 for
slot?
Keon Coleman. My man Diesel Skills. If you're still with me, brother, who would you pick?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'd take Graham Barton out of Duke. Let's go, Duke.
Hey, Cody, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
How do you personally feel about Roman Wilson? Because I feel like he's kind of creeping up the draft rankings.
Yeah,
he is.
I mean,
I'm not get right now for no.
I'm not
reason.
mad at him. I mean, that offense didn't really feature him a whole lot because they were running the ball.
He's a good receiver.
Click on corners real quick for me, sir, will you?
Corners. Yep.
I don't think we clicked on that. Okay, I was just curious to see what's available. Okay. All right.
Is there a way to see what corners were already taken?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter if they were taken already. But yeah,
if you hit show right under drafted players there.
Probably looking for someone. In
yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, Nate Wiggins is gone. Kool-Aid McKinstry gone.
Yeah.
Ernie Rackstar Jr. is available. All right, what position y'all want to go with 33, man? So right now we have 3. Right now we have 3 for Lad, 2 for Keon, and we have 1 for Graham Barton. I think that's it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say,
Christian,
I'm going to make it so Cody has to decide. So I'm going Keon. Tie it up.
You're going Keon Coleman. All right, man. I'm just being real. I think this next man is going to be a weapon for Bryce for the foreseeable future. We're going to mix it up.
Oh, he's going Lad.
We're drafting Lad McConkey,
Oh my
baby.
I knew he would. Because he said for a couple weeks now that Lad McCulkin was one of his guys.
All right, look.
2 tutties last year?
We have a couple trade offers.
No. We still need
Browns want us to move to 54. Vikings, screw that.
No, we need another proven starter.
That the Steelers offer. Okay, never mind. Forget it.
Now, we're saying no to those, and I'm just going to warn people. Dan Morgan might take an offer like that. I'm just saying, like, you never know.
No, you're right. You're right. But let's be real, though. Let's be real. I'm going to be real here. If you're at pick 39 and a quarterback like Bo Nix is on the table, do you really think somebody's going to call one to trade? If not,
but maybe not though. Maybe he already fell that far, and they think they just want to fall more.
Or somebody in the Panthers organization is screaming, "You take best player available, you take quarterback."
Yeah. For the record, Cody, you didn't go BPA.
Cody, check the D lineman tag.
Yeah, they ain't trading. They're not trading with Carolina to go to a quarterback. Carolina's not grabbing a quarterback.
Sweat right there.
Yeah, and in theory, the second, third, and fourth picks in the second round won't either.
You don't really wait till somebody needs a quarterback before you trade for him. For example, it would be
Pop,
easier
don't slander my man Lad like that.
Pickle.
Lad is for real, bro.
Pickle, I have a good example of what you're talking about. Last year, when Will Levis fell out the first round, the Titans traded up. The Titans traded up 10 spots, I believe, to go pick him with like the third pick in the second round. So you never know whatever they gave up.
Right now, we have offensive line and defensive line both available. Braden Fisk out of Florida State, Tavondre Sweat out of Texas.
Who I want.
Even the best rated interior O lineman, Graham Barton out of Duke is available. Zach Frazier out of West Virginia also available. Cedric Van Pran will be available earlier.
Zach Frazier's my pick. I'm going right now.
Wait, can I ask you something? Wait a minute. Oh, sorry. Peyton Wilson is who is. Sorry, I'm sorry. Can I change that? Wilson, Peyton Wilson. That's okay. I was confused.
Peyton Wilson.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got one vote for Peyton Wilson. And who are you picking?
No. I'm sorry. I'm screwing this up right now. Go ahead. You go first, Pickle.
Zach Frazier. Anthony said Zach Frazier.
And can I ask something for clarification?
Sure.
Do we think so? Peyton Wilson is a linebacker that Kuechly talked about. I do want him on the team, but I don't know enough about how the draft's going to, how we think it will pan out right now to know. Do we have an opportunity if we pass up on him on this right now on this pick?
So now we're at pick 39. We're at pick 39. They have him ranked at 46. So he will not be available. The next time we pick after that is pick 65. So I doubt that Peyton Wilson will be there. If you wanted him, you probably have to draft him right now. But you do have interior O line still on the board.
What about
corner? Let's see who's available. All of the bigger names are gone for corner.
They went in the first round.
Can you show me the picks in total real quick that we have?
All the
our stuff.
Yeah, we have 6 more.
Can we take our 65, our 240, and our 142 and trade it for, say, 43? Does that sound outrageous?
I think I don't like it. But
why?
That's me. Well, you're.
Well, we would have to.
What if we pick one of our
first? You'll have a lot less picks.
I know.
So other needs will not be addressed.
Then let's look at next year's, say, round 4, 5, 6 picks. Can we add that in plus our 60, whatever it is, 70 something?
Yeah, I don't think Peyton Wilson is worth all that.
Or
Peyton
just
Wilson's
trade back a couple.
linebacker. I know.
Hey.
Him. Let me finish. I know you're still here. I was waiting for you to come back on as soon as I said that. But let's be real. What about his injuries? Are you aware that he's had a crap load of injuries?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's had 2 ACL
I know you are. So,
we can just draft Tommy Eichenberg later.
Yeah, and I mean,
there's
still Jeremiah.
I'm so glad
Jeremiah Trotter.
I didn't want to come across as the
listen. I just got trust for my boy. That's it.
You can get Tommy in the 5th round, bro. That's your quarterback of your defense right there.
I've never heard Kuechly. I've never heard Kuechly input his draft concept. I've never heard Kuechly legitimately be involved in. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's ever flat out been like, I'm gonna say something about has he?
He was praising Jack Campbell, the middle linebacker out of Iowa last year, and he was okay. I mean, he looks like a good player now towards the end of the year. And he played good in the playoffs, but I mean,
all right, then I will defer to you guys. You've convinced me. I'm on board. I'll go with you guys.
If we're taking advice from Luke Kuechly, that's okay, but I don't want to hear anything about Steve Smith.
I was about to say we took another player's advice last year, and we ended up with Jonathan.
I'm gonna trust you guys. Listen, I'm putting my faith in you guys. I'm putting my faith in you right now.
I'm going with Zach Frazier, and I'm not budging. But
all right, so
on this, you'll get dog doo.
All right, Pickle said Zach Frazier. Christian, what are you voting?
I'm going to go ahead and say, I guess with this board, because it's all fucked now because you guys didn't take a corner, I'm going to go Zach Frazier.
All right, Zach Frazier. Well, we got 2 for Zach Frazier.
Hey, Cody.
We got 3 for Zach Frazier.
I was about to say, there's 3 for Zach Frazier.
All right, 4 for Zach Frazier.
No, I ain't vote for no Zach Frazier.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Sweat.
All right. All right, so we
Yeah,
got 1 for
the
Sweat,
D tackle.
3 for Frazier. Diesel Skills, what say you, man?
Yeah, I like, if we're going to go Lab McConkey at 33, then let's go ahead and go Frazier at 39. I think that'll make a lot of Panthers fans happy as we're invested our highest draft assets into the offense, Cody.
Yes, sir. Alex, you say Zach Frazier?
I mean, if we're not trading back from this spot to get some more picks, then yeah, I'm going Frazier. I'm going O-line. So I trade back here a couple spots, get some more picks. But if not, yeah, I'll go Frazier.
Zach Frazier has the potential. I've been watching his film, and Ricky Bobati's put me on him. He has, if he can stay healthy, he's got the potential to be a really damn good player.
Let me ask you one more. Can I ask just one more question? I promise I'll be quick. I agree with what you said. You've convinced me on that, but on both fronts with Frazier here, and then also on the linebacker. But does anyone here? Is there anyone between where the pick after we make this pick and between our next pick? Is there anyone that we think collectively would exist there that we want to get? That would we need to trade our next up pick plus some stuff to kind of move up in this case?
I don't know. I mean, I really like Tavondre Sweat.
Because once you push the play button, doesn't it just go? And then
once you push your draft
Are you asking if there's a player good enough for us to trade up in between our next pick?
Effectively, yeah.
Pick?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
Tavondre Sweat's that guy. Listen, I think
quality's better than quantity.
Who's that Giants D tackle we added, Pickle?
Ashawn Robinson.
Ashawn Robinson, that's who it was.
Right,
I think a lot of people are a little too satisfied on the D line because it's like, oh, we have our 2 D tackles. We're good. Let's move on from that position. No, in my opinion, especially in a 3-4, I want 2 fresh D tackles out there at all times. And if you can exchange Robinson and Sweat, while you got Brown, my fault, I called him
JJ, someone in chat said the reverse of this, to trade backward. I mean, is that? But once you play, it's going to go to the next pick.
I've been saying I think there's a strong possibility. Like we're doing a mock draft as if we're just going to stay put. But I've been saying I think there's a strong possibility.
All right, fair enough.
Is open to offers. But what JJ just said is 100%. I don't want Shy Tuttle on this field for that
exactly.
Well, trade back then.
Well, he's going to be anyway.
Get a couple picks.
So you don't want to try and trade back?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would trade back, get a couple picks.
All right, y'all want to see if we can trade back to pick 44 with the Las Vegas Raiders?
I'm going to be outvoted.
Nah, I'd rather take Zach Frazier than trade.
All right, who wants to take Zach Frazier now? It's between Zach Frazier or trading down. Who wants to take Zach Frazier?
I'm more of an execute on your picks player.
Cody, I was just saying as in real life, I think that's a real possibility. I'm not saying trade back now. I'm not saying you have to do that.
But I'm saying that is an option, though. So if you wanted to do it,
just because you have a bunch of extra picks, don't mean they're better players.
Can we see
it?
Exactly.
You can have 10 extra players,
you, Pickle.
And at the end of the season, at the end of training camp, you have to cut all 10 because they all suck. That accomplishes you nothing.
We're in a position right now where we just need proven players over anything, over more picks.
Right.
So the closer the pick is now, the better chance we get a more proven player than anything else.
Can we define at least one thing? It sounds like we're all agreeing on we should not change our picks and keep our picks the way they are and just run one round that way for at least a whole round. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. I think we should just execute on the picks.
I would not.
No trades at all.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, you don't agree?
All right, so we're drafting Zach Frazier then, right? Zach Frazier.
Yeah.
All right.
Get Zach.
Zach Frazier, you are a Carolina Panther.
This is our control experiment, right? This is the control experiment. No trade.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much. And then every Friday is kind of a control of its own. Damn, Peyton Wilson's still on the board? No way.
I will stab you all in the damn face. If you don't
what? Peyton Wilson's available. Holy shit!
I told you he'd be there, but nobody wants to listen to Panther Pickle.
Respect the
20
Falcons.
mock drafts this week.
I was telling you all to take BPA all along.
Hey,
Yeah,
so
but-
this isn't
yeah, but
even up for debate,
Man,
right?
Nobody listens to you right now. So.
Hey,
Hold on,
boys,
Cody.
is this
Sweat's
even
still
up
there?
for debate? What are we
No,
doing?
no, it's not.
I think we ought to take Trey Benson, or there's Brooks.
Nah, he's not there. Yeah, we could go Wilson.
Oh, fuck it. Let's go all offense.
Hey, let's take Cedric Brand. I have two centers that way.
I motion we take Peyton Wilson in this position.
there's my
Also,
tight
aye.
end. There's my
Yeah,
tight end right
make
there,
it so Bryce has zero excuses.
Oh yeah, yeah. TG baby.
What would you about to do? What would you about to do? Jatavion Sanders, the tight end? That's what they're suggesting. Or Peyton Wilson, the linebacker.
I would take. This is just me. I would take Jadavion Sanders because G Baby's got me convinced on all these Texas dudes, and I think he's a dog. But
I like both players, and I really do like both players. I think both will be great. To be honest,
I'm going Wilson.
Yo, Cody.
we got one for Wilson.
And Sanders, but
So we've got one for Wilson. Pickle, you saying Sanders?
No, I said Peyton Wilson.
All right, so we got two Wilson. Ant said Sanders. Who else says Sanders? Christian?
I want it to be a tie again. Let's go Sanders. Let's make Cody decide.
Yeah,
I got Wilson with me.
Hey Cody, I got Jadavion Sanders too.
All right, well then it's tied because I got Wilson.
3-3.
Oh my
And
god!
I'm gonna go Wilson as well.
So we got one more for Wilson.
Damn it, Deez, you always have to always.
Thank you, Wilson.
Wait a minute.
No, dude, we gotta go
wait a minute.
defense.
Yo, wait a minute. Let me welcome my man, longtime friend of the show, Jay Cryer, back on the free for all. Jay, what's up, brother?
All right, boys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm just in bed. It's late here in Ibiza, but I just thought I saw you online.
Hell yeah, man. Doing this mock draft, deciding what we're going to do. Either pick a linebacker out of NC State, Peyton Wilson, or get another tight end for Bryce Young to be able to throw the ball to, man.
Oh, look at that. I got an extra vote now.
Yeah.
He's probably
It
impartial.
depends.
He probably doesn't know enough. Yeah, this is perfect.
Oh, man. What do I pick, too? Jay, you've been following our little mock draft? Or the draft at all?
Literally I've just turned it on now. Normally I'm obsessed with the draft every year, but because we haven't got a pick in the first round this year, I've not been as bothered. But
Yeah, that's where it fell off.
Like
I
I
got
said,
you.
impartial.
I need to catch up, bro.
Impartial.
I've just done 6 weeks in America, all around Chicago, and on business, so I'm a bit behind and everything. But I'll be catching up. But I just want to jump in and say hello to everyone. Keep up all the work and that, boys. And I always catch up with the show. I always listen to it a day late because of the time difference.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
It's all
appreciate
good, man.
everything you
C3 for
do,
life.
you and Tony. And
Yeah, man.
I'll be listening, boys. Everyone, take care.
Hey,
Yeah,
cheers.
man. Take care, man. Stay safe out there in the
Cheers, boys.
Ibiza, man.
Cheers, brother. Hey, you're welcome anytime, boys. If anyone wants to come over.
Hey,
Shit.
Cheers.
I would love to check out Ibiza,
You're
man.
on.
That sounds
hey,
booking
Wilson.
awesome.
Come over, boys. Come over,
Yeah,
boys.
man.
Come for the come for the Germany match next year. Stop in Spain and come and say hello. Come to Ibiza, so I could do that.
Yeah, that sounds dope. Hell yeah, man. We appreciate you, Jay.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Tell my love
Yeah,
to Tony
cheers,
as
man.
well. See you, bro.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely, man. See you, bro. So I mean, listen, if I'm picking, listen, I'm shut the hell up, Pickle.
I always like hearing from fans from other countries, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, dude, we have a bunch of cool fans from other countries.
It takes a lot for some of these guys from other countries
Yeah.
to watch the NFL.
Well, the time
They really
difference,
have to
man.
go
A
out
lot
of
of them, it's
Yes.
you know,
Yes, I mean it's
early
like,
in the morning or late at night.
Would you get up at 2 a.m. to watch?
Cody's delaying the inevitable right now.
Online.
Yeah, all right, man. It's either Jatavion Sanders or Peyton Wilson.
Come on, make your choice.
All right, look, man.
Hey, you could take Mason Smith.
You took
from
too much
LSU.
time. You
He's
lost your
really good
impartial
on
vote.
that.
You could have had him make a decision, right? And then you would have had to been the decide.
I know, but he didn't want to answer, man. He didn't know about the draft.
All right,
so.
hey, why Big Jordan? We got some folks in the chat, Cody. Pick one to make that decision. Just call out a name, tell them to put it in the chat who you take.
Ask them all.
Chat room. Are y'all taking Peyton Wilson?
I need to see Peyton
or
Wilson in the chat right now.
Jatavion Sanders?
You guys are eyeballing chat too.
Don't get
we need
silent
that
now.
count.
Or just type in Cody Lack so he decides.
I need to see Peyton Wilson.
Oh my God.
Where he's going, we're going deep.
Make a vote board. Whatever
Thank
what's
you,
it called?
C-Dog.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me
What's the
rephrase
vote
that. He
thing?
said
The website?
What 40 times?
The what?
My bad.
What's the what?
Where you,
Yeah,
the
it's
vote
the
thing. Like there's like websites you click, you like make
Fast
a
as
poll.
fuck, big as hell.
Poll, whatever.
His
the
mouth
fuck.
drafted.
Hey, Cody, has his Will Shipley already been drafted?
Will Shipley.
No, he hasn't been
I was
drafted.
about to say we should look at them running backs, but I was gonna wait till the next pick to bring it up.
Now, in reality, y'all.
No, Will Shipley's still available.
That's my next pick.
That Jonathan Brooks, that Texas running back, the Panthers are bringing him in for a visit, which surprises me, but they are.
All right. You don't want me to man up, huh? I need to man up and be the GM. We're drafting Peyton fucking Wilson,
Thank
baby.
you, Cody Lack.
Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Peyton Wilson. We need a linebacker in this bitch. And if he's good enough for Luke Kuechly, he's good enough for us.
Thank you,
Hey,
sir.
Cole, do the howl. Do the howl. The NC
I can't.
State.
I gotta say that for tomorrow. We got a big day.
He's saving his voice.
Hey,
They
Cody.
want to. The Steelers want to trade back to 119.
No, don't do
actually,
it. Don't
hold
do
on.
it. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. All right.
Reject them trade. Look at the running backs. We need a
Reject.
running back because this
Fuck
is
New
Chuba's last
Orleans.
year.
Hey, what's up with the Notre Dame running back? He's trending up too. I didn't like him at first, but he's a
Nah.
lot faster than people
Are
said.
you talking about
His
Estime?
last name
That's his
starts
last
with an
name.
A. That's the only person I know.
Yes,
All right.
Estime. Ajay Estime, I believe.
Look at this.
So
Jeremy
look.
available.
We've drafted a wide receiver, we've drafted an O-lineman, and we drafted a linebacker. So now,
Just saying, guys, if you go in BPA, look what's
Hold
there.
on. Who are the available running backs?
Blake Corum's on the board.
Yeah, I want Blake Corum.
I want Blake Corum. I want Blake Corum too. I just have this connection with Will because we played football together, and like I used to hang out with him a lot. But
y'all want to draft a running back right now?
Yes.
Well, go. Who's available at tight end?
Is Sanders still available? No.
Ben Sinnott. That's the suggestion for us.
We don't need it. We don't need a tight end, honestly. We got
Go
some.
Can you flashback to all after they
go to long
cycle
snapper.
through all of the positions?
Go to long snapper. Draft the long snapper.
that
Shut
Ben
the hell
Sinnott
up,
guy.
Bill.
Rule this bitch right quick.
Okay,
That
Matt
Ben
Rule.
Sinnott guy on NFL.com, they had us taking him at pick 39. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?"
Jonah
looking right
Ellis
at
is
Blake
also a
Corum.
suggestion.
Okay, so let me.
Brand is still
Can I
available.
pose the question? Can I pose
Yeah.
this question?
Go ahead, Stretch.
I would ask you all to take a step back. Think about this. Think about those three positions that we just drafted. Imagine you're in you're in the draft right now. So like you're in the room drafting. Where are we weakest at this point on the ball? Which side of the ball are we defense side
Corner
or
or
offense
running
side? Can we
Probably the
Corner.
defense.
defense side?
Corner.
Yeah.
Either
sounds like a lot
corner
of
or
defense.
running back.
I would
Well, I
say
mean, you
edge.
got a running back. You got
I'm just
Cuba,
helping us
you
to
got
narrow
Miles
down
Sanders,
where we're
and you
focused
got a
on.
bunch
Yeah,
of
well,
other-
cornerback.
But Pickle,
I don't
we
really
have the
know a
weakest
lot
running
about.
back room in the NFL.
Yeah, I understand that because our guys are improving.
So look, these are the corners
I understand
available.
what you're saying, though. I do.
DJ James,
I-
DJ James,
But look,
Kyrie
DJ James
Jackson.
is like picking 95.
Yeah,
How
but
good is DJ James? I don't know. Go ahead.
He not better than Blake Corum. That's what I know.
all right, my so we're at 101.
Are we going defense or offense on the pick?
I would vote either. I'd vote defense.
Let's go both and go quarterback.
I vote BPA.
We go. Pickle wants quarterback. Are you the only ones that?
The best player.
I'm with
the
Christian.
The best player available is
to me,
offensive tackle.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's from
Defensive
Yale.
tackles.
I mean, it's from Yale. Come on. When was the last time you heard Yale being good?
Yo, what up, y'all?
McKinley Jackson.
He probably good at Madden football.
Statistically.
All right, Pickle.
But,
I don't know. Blake Corum.
All joking aside, man. Yeah,
if you go best player available, in reality, if you go best player available, it's going to be 2 offensive linemen. Okay, if you go knock to the third one, it's going to be another inside linebacker.
Have you guys taken center yet?
I mean,
yes, that was our.
Yes. Now Jonah Ellis.
Yeah, we picked up Zach
Utah
Frazier.
Oh yeah, then you definitely don't need Cedric Grand Pran.
Yeah. So if you go to the next other than the 2 offensive linemen and the linebacker, you can go to edge at Jonah Ellis.
We already
Other
picked
than
up
that,
Peyton
then you
Wilson,
go back to the running back, Blake Corum, who actually played with Michigan, and Michigan plays a lot of. They play the way an NFL team would play.
Can we narrow it down to 4 people and stick them in a straw poll and have chat decide?
This is my reason for running back right here. It goes back to the point of needing as many proven players as possible. A running back's transition to the NFL at this point, like for your 4th round pick, it's going to be more likely you're going to get more out of your 4th round pick if you get a running back now than like trying to swing on a corner, trying to swing on a linebacker.
Right, but there's going to be so many running backs available later, though. Still, I think.
Well, you know what, guys? Chat never gets enough love. Speaking from a guy who no one ever listened to me when I was writing in the chat. Just what do they think?
Well, we don't listen to you when you're on the show.
So can we narrow it to 4 people? Can we make a straw poll and narrow it to 4 people out of all? We can collectively narrow this to 4 people, yes, and then we stick it in a straw poll and have chat. Click on.
Yeah, we're gonna do that, or I can even just put it in the YouTube chat too. But I can put up a poll.
Have you guys already taken a quarterback?
So no, there's no corner. The best corner available would be DJ James out of Auburn.
I would take Kyrie Jackson over DJ James. If you guys are considering corner, because I just got in here. And you haven't taken corner, Kyrie Jackson would be a really good pickup here at this pick. Especially if we haven't taken. We need edge, but we also need corner. We need a lot of things.
My vote would be for Jonah Ellis. I think Jonah Ellis would be somebody that the Panthers could benefit in having. I don't know. I just think it's too early for a running back right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd rather go edge or corner than running back at this point.
So, do y'all care what corner? Do y'all care what corner? Evan was saying Kyrie. What was his name? Kyrie Jackson. Kyrie Jackson. So, would y'all prefer him over DJ James?
I would take Evan's word for it.
All right. So, Kyrie Jackson. Let's go. Jonah Ellis. What, you want to go Blake Corum?
Yeah.
Blake Corum.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Corum.
All right, you'll have to give me a second. I got to bring up
I don't know. Kyrie Jackson's interesting me. Evan sounded real confident.
Do you know anything about Jonah Ellis? Does anybody know anything about Jonah Ellis?
Yeah, man. He went to Utah.
You will know shit.
Utah's known for having a good defense.
All right.
But
would you rather narrow the poll to just the position, 4 positions or whatever that you want, and then go from there? That'd be a better route.
No, because position like a lot of people's going to say corner. You have to get a corner, but is corner worth this pick? I mean, this is essentially taking a 4th round pick and drafting a 7th round pick guy out of the 4th round.
That's what I was about to say.
Y'all pick the Panthers now when you do that. You scream. I mean, in real life, if they was to take a guy destined to go in the 7th round, in the 4th round, y'all would lose your shit right there on live.
Kyrie Jackson is definitely not destined for the 7th round. I don't know if that's what you're saying or not, but
I'm not. I'm just
okay.
Paint me a picture, Pickle. Paint me a picture. We get Jonah Ellis, and he comes in. That's our pick. He's paired up against who's edge rushing on the right side. It's
I'm not high on Jonah.
How this works.
Yeah, I've tried to find information about Jonah Ellis, and all I find is negative.
Was edge rush? He's edge rush, right?
Yeah, but I need something other than that. I need to know whether he can play in a 3-4 or a 4-3, whether he's good in coverage, whether he can stop the run, or is he just like I mean he weighs a little. Okay, his 40 time is 470. Okay. He's 248, he weighs 6'2", or he's 6'2", he weighs 248. Is he better than the guys we currently have on our roster? Is he just another Mario Barta?
Well, what's it going to look like? Is he playing? Who would he be competing against at this point in time?
Okay, right
on
now
our team,
he'll be lined up at linebacker.
He will go in the game. He'll start this year if we
DJ
get him.
Johnson,
I don't know that he'll start.
Amari
That's what I'm
Barno.
asking you. I don't know that he'll start. I don't know that much about him. I can't tell you he's going to start if I don't know he'll start.
Does anyone have an idea?
Right now, he's competing with a Mario Barno and Johnson dude for a playing role.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Who are the other edges that are on the board still? Are any of them worth mentioning?
I don't know.
Edge. Let's see. Jonah Ellis, Javon Solomon, Nelson Caesar, Jalen Hunt, Jalen Jalix. It's a weird ass name.
Another Hunt brother.
I need one more player for the poll. Who are we doing?
Click on safety.
How about Ben Sinnott?
Yeah.
What about wide receiver?
Trotter.
What wide receivers are
Oh
left?
yeah, click on wide receivers. Choose it wide out.
I'm curious, who have you guys taken with all of our picks so far?
We got Ladd McConkey,
Zach Frazier, and Peyton Wilson.
Facts.
All right.
I'm looking right at Blake Corum still.
Man,
I need one more name to
Buckeye,
put.
man. You love those Wolverines.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. What's the face? JJ McCarthy, Corum, and Roman Wilson. Those three guys, I know for sure are gonna pan out in the NFL. Those guys are gonna have success for whatever role there is, especially Roman
All right,
Wilson.
we are thinking too much on it. So did we? Because we got a lot of picks to go through. You know,
I'm just gonna do the number. I'm just gonna do 3 people in the poll on YouTube. So,
okay, all right,
Edge Jonah Ellis, running back Blake Corum, or corner Kyrie Jackson.
Okay, see
the poll is live in the chat.
The Edge the chat knows more about Jonah Wilson than Jonah Ellis than most people on here do. Big White Jordan says Jonah is definitely better.
We should ask
than
G
anything we
Baby. G
currently have.
Baby's from Utah.
Jonah Ellis is currently winning with 60% of the votes, with 10 votes in. The votes in the chat. Vote it up, chat. Vote it up.
And chat, while you're there voting.
How do you all know that Jonah Ellis isn't a steal here? We don't know. That's why we're asking.
Hey man, let me welcome my brother C3 Kyle to the building. Happy to have you back on the free for all, brother. How you doing, man?
Great, buddy. How we doing? Another wonderful Friday, man. Another great show. Getting another mock done. I'm kind of hid. I'm down there by the comments, but you know, same as always.
I told you, man.
Day, man.
That doesn't always go last.
Always.
Hey, yeah, bump him up and put Christensen down there next to the comments.
I don't put that. No, I can bring my man up a little bit.
That's cool.
Though.
I'll just leave.
No, you better not, Christian.
No, don't leave. I don't have nobody messing with him.
Hey.
That's right. We need all the different opinions.
See, I bumped you up a little bit. You're visible now. I bumped you up a little.
This is round 4, pick 101, right?
Yes, this is round 4, pick 101. All right, with
if that poll takes too long, we'll just
I mean, right now, Jonah Ellis is winning by 59%.
All right, he's a pick. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's roll.
All right, Jonah Ellis.
Don't we have a pick like 10 picks after this one, anyways? At like
we got
pick 114.
Yeah, we got 2 picks back to back here in a minute.
Let me interject. Hey, chat. I'm Jedi. What did he get hurt for? What was his injury that he missed 7 games?
Who?
Kyrie. Oh,
Ellis.
Kyrie Jackson didn't make it.
Well, if I know. I ain't from Utah.
Oh, Zach
That's what I'm
Zenner.
saying. That's why I'm asking
Zach
in the
Zenner.
chat.
Zach Zenner.
All right. We have a bunch of trades.
No.
No, fuck the Saints.
Decline them all. They're not worth it.
Reject.
Whoa, don't. Hang on.
Hang on.
That gave us 2 fifth-round picks. I ain't worried about the ones next year. They gave us 2 fifth-round picks.
I'd rather get a 4th-round pick.
I'll move back 3 to get another one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're only dropping like 4 more spots.
3.
Y'all want to do that?
That's true.
Y'all want to accept that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Run it.
All right, accept.
Zach Zenner's still going to be there. He is.
I believe. Yep, Zach Zenner's still there.
Nope.
Ben Sinat's still there. All right, reject Jaguars.
I thought we were doing control first round.
I mean, we're only doing one. We'll get rid of New Orleans and.
Damn right, it's fine.
See, like Cody, look at this. You see how you're running through it like this right now? Imagine if you did it 10,000 times. Imagine if you did it 10,000 times. My software that I made does that for anything you wanted it to do. For like draft round pick, for like we could run this 10,000 times and just have it. Sorry, I'm going off.
That's
to be honest,
a better data set of what it would end up looking like.
In this selection, Ben Zenat would be better than Ian Thomas.
I think Ben Sinnott or Zach Zenner is a good pick here. I think those got to be the picks.
Zach Zenner? Oh, okay. Yeah, you
now,
like
Zach
Zenner
plays IO line or interior line, right?
Aren't we looking at Audrey Castemi?
Well, by the way, look, we have 2 picks. It's us. It's us, Atlanta, and then us again.
And then we got another one at 160.
So you can take Ben Sinnott here,
and then Zach Zenner.
Yeah, and then see if Audric falls to 160. If he doesn't, it's whatever. Because I mean, there's going to be other running backs that are going to produce in this draft late. So
you talking about Audric Estime?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm just pointing him out because that's one of the guys that they brought into the building to look at.
I mean, he is still a good runner.
Hey, someone in the chat said Audric ran a 4.7 at the combine. That's not.
He's more of a power back.
Yeah. All right. We don't want anything to do with the Cowboys. No. So fuck off. Fuck off to the Rams. Fuck off to the Bucs.
Did Anthony leave, or he's still here?
Anthony left. Is not here.
Okay. Click on running backs for me real quick.
Will Shipley, baby, ran a 4.44 at his pro day. I wouldn't mind Will Shipley a little bit.
Yeah, but how many lightweight running backs are we gonna have? You know,
bro, he's not lightweight. He's 205, man.
I mean, Chuba, I wouldn't say is super light.
Cody,
Chuba's not completely a power back, but he's not completely a light back.
We need someone who's going to carry a defender 3 yards.
Well,
bro.
What do we? Well, hold on, that's a good question. But wait a minute.
Well, that's why we got 2 guards to do that.
But let the shots finish.
What is the aim for? Do any of you have? Listen, I don't think any of us know. No one knows, but we can speculate. What do you think the running style is that they're going to implement? What type of offense? This changes how.
Wide zone. I think
that's what I've heard you say that before, Pickle.
Multiple reps at different players.
That's what Canales seems to. I mean, that's what he's running there.
Have we? Has anyone here analyzed all the Bucs film from last year? By the way,
no.
The 22 from last year.
Not all of it. No.
It's 22, isn't it? All 22.
Yeah, all 22.
How have we not done that? How have we not done that yet?
Have you done it?
No, I have not. But why have we done that? Shouldn't we do that? Don't you think?
Yeah, so but we're gonna have we'll have a long off season. That's something that we should look at. Look at some of the stuff that he wants to do. Him and Brad Idzik, our new offensive coordinator. So some of the names available right now, Zach Zinter, who's still available, Makai Wingo, D-line, Will Shipley, running back, Marshawn Lloyd, the running back out of USC. Somebody said Kalen Carson, the corner out of the corner out of Wake Forest. And we never drafted a corner yet. Y'all want to go Kalen Carson? Sure. Yeah, we never. Let me see.
We need corner, but my vote's probably still for Zach Zinter. I mean, that anybody from that Michigan O line is solid. I mean, they won the best O line in college football award.
Yeah. Okay. My vote is for Kalen Carson. I'm going Kalen Carson. I'm voting for the corner. JJ, I would say you. JJ, you there? All right, we're going to Kyle. Kyle, I would say you.
Either Carson or Ron. Yeah, Carson.
All right, Carson. Evan?
Zach Zinter.
Zach Zinter. Diesel Skill, is he with me? He might not be. That's okay. Pickle, let's say
Michael Pratt.
All right. Christian.
Pickle, what's it? I'm going to say corner.
Pickle, you pissed me off, God damn it. I'm about to kick you off this. No, I'm not paying and I'm happy to not be paying attention to your dumbass right now. Yes. On to the next one. So what we have 2, 3 for Kalen. All right, we're picking Kalen. Unless anybody can really make a moving argument and move me off of that pick.
I mean, Cody, you didn't ask me, but
go ahead, man. Go ahead, Shots. Let's say you.
How much your opinion?
But it's not going to be.
No, I'm looking at. I mean, there's not much film on him. I'm looking at it, and it looks like he could be. He could be an asset, but also like I think I'm gonna if we get him, then I would say he seems like he's a little handsy. He seems like it's a coachable talent. It's a thing that you can coach.
How tall is he? Does it say?
Yeah, here he is 6'0".
That's not bad.
6 flat.
It's not bad. I'm either down for Carson or Zinter, but I'll say Carson just because we didn't hit a cornerback yet in the draft.
No, and I got you on that. We need one, so I'll side with you guys on that one. I'll defer over.
All right, Carson is the pick.
Yo, Zach Zinter beat. Oh damn, there he goes. Rip.
Yep.
All right.
Lad though.
All right, we're on the clock.
Evan.
I'm voting for Will. I'm voting for Shipley. I'm voting for Will.
Will.
What other running backs are there?
Tyler Davis. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, he's from Kentucky. He needs to come off your mute mode if he sees you taking a Kentucky player.
No, Tyler Davis. Not
no.
Defensive tackle Tyler Davis.
Wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
You know what? We gonna.
Hey, they get ready to take someone from Kentucky.
So what, JJ?
What other wide receivers are there? Maybe we could double scoop on wide receiver now.
Jacob Cowing, Marcus Ramsey Jackson.
Damn, I don't know any of them.
Yeah, Jordan Whittington. I don't know. I vote Will Shipley or Ray Davis.
I agree.
Shipley's a receiving back too, right?
Yeah, Shipley can do it all.
He's kind of like McCaffrey, but later in the draft. Way later.
Pretty much. Yep. All right, y'all voting for Will Shipley? Will Shipley it is.
Chat's asking if Javon Baker is still there.
Who is Javon Baker? The running back?
Oh, he's from UCF. Yeah, he's actually a solid receiver. He's I think he's big. He's like 6'2", 6'3". He's actually decent. But I don't think he was there. He's gonna go in like the 4th or 3rd round.
Hey, we be talking about Bryce Young's noodle arm, but Joe Milton, never mind. He's off the board.
Yeah.
That's Pickle's guy right
he's
there.
Still there. Oh no, he's gone.
You know it, man.
All right.
That arm,
We're
he
up.
got that nice arm.
We are up. Sam Hartman with the gray hair.
7th round.
No, Pickle. Shut up, Pickle. We're not drafting
come
Sam
on,
Hartman.
You pussy.
No. Frank Gore Jr.
What are
Give me
our
a
names
Willie.
still?
Oh my
Give me a
God! Did you
Willie.
see Frank Gore Jr.?
Yep, Frank
Give
Gore
me. Hey,
Jr.
Mother! If anyone said, okay, I don't know much about this draft, but I swear to God, you know Frank Gore. I know all of you know Frank Gore.
Oh yeah.
I would be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen any highlights, but my God,
He gave the Jags
will
Trevor
on
Lawrence.
that, the will he in places, I would be surprised
His
if he
son.
didn't.
So
His
y'all
son
want to
is-
double up? Y'all want to double up
His
on running
son
back?
is nothing like him. No, his son is nothing like him.
You
I have
think?
heard. I've watched some tape, and I've heard.
They're
So it
double
forced
at
me to
wide
watch tape
receiver.
on him. He's not. He's
Man,
not
if
that.
he's 10% of what Frank Gore is, he's
he
a
won't.
monster.
Miles Murphy. Give me Miles Murphy right there.
I
I
don't know.
remember.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him play. I'm just saying,
Drake
if he's
Stoops.
10%,
Promise
They
Panda
got Steel
that his
Chambers.
son is like 5'3". Oh shit.
Yeah, what are our needs
No.
still?
Y'all want to take best player available? I mean, obviously not a quarterback.
Go ahead.
Sam
Hold
Hartman?
on. Scroll back down a little bit. No, hell no, not Sam Hartman. Steel Chambers. Get you Frankie Louvu's replacement real quick.
Braden McGregor.
Where you
is the
see
edge
that?
rusher.
Where you
Steel
see that at, dude? Don't
Chambers?
see.
Yeah, I just saw his name. You might need to scroll down a little bit.
nope. I'm watching
Right there.
film.
Steel
Pickle.
Chambers.
Nope. I will respectfully disagree with you. My vote is for Frank Gore Jr.
Are you talking about Miles Murphy?
Did you already bank the pick?
No, I
No,
didn't
no,
make the
no.
pick.
It's right. It was from Ohio State guy. I saw it.
I
Yeah.
respectfully, from what I've
I saw it.
just seen, I don't know, man.
Strats
Are
is
you
talking
watching
about,
Frank Gore
Frank
film right
Jr.
now?
No,
No,
go down.
Junior.
Well, yeah, Frank Gore
Frank Gore
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said Frank Gore beat his son in a race recently, a year ago.
Shout out, my big Jordan.
Shout out, Jordan.
Okay,
So what
fine.
y'all want?
Listen, whoa. I need to say something, Cody. I'm sorry. Listen,
Okay.
I'll give you he doesn't look like he's got speed, but what he has is will. And it looked like he was, listen, he had, you know how a player can take like many different vantage points, like you're trying to run it in, and like maybe I'm trying to think. Smith-Marset Jr. is a great example of this. Look at the film from last year, which mind you is minimal, but the games he did play was the Chicago Bears. He ran all the way back for the touchdown, and then look at the end of that film. You know what he hesitates, pause steps, right, and it's like he had 20 more yards to go to run that thing in, and the mental ability. I'm telling you that Frank Jr. does have. I swear to God, he does.
Hey, I'm not opposed to going running back.
Chet said he was a dog.
But we
No.
already have a running back in this.
We love
class.
our
You know what?
And we you know they're not going to cut Sanders. You know Chuba's going to start.
I hear rumors
So
that Dan
you're gonna have
Morgan's looking for
two rookie running backs. And
dogs.
both of them are going to be inactive.
He's not fast,
that.
Pickle,
No.
but he looks like when Steve Smith had the ball in his hand and was like running up the sideline, like, I don't fucking care. You get out of my way, and would do whatever
So
he needed to
basically,
do.
what Strats is saying is Frank Gore Jr.
Is
a dog.
he
It
better
looks
than
like
the
it
other
from the
running
imi-
backs we
from
have on our
some of
roster?
the film.
I'm down. Who wants to do it? Frank Gore Jr.
I'm not down.
I mean, it's kind of a
Who
reach.
you want?
I better
Pickle?
hear. Listen,
Fine,
if
fine.
I don't hear,
I defer.
if I don't
defer.
listen,
I'll
if I
defer
do not
to you.
hear a
Hey,
better
Pickle, who you
argument
want?
for someone else, then I'm
I
going
mean,
to pick Frank Gore Jr.
Let me
I don't want to
look at the film for McGregor.
that Braden
Yeah,
McGregor.
See that.
I mean, at this
You know,
point,
but you said that Ohio State kid was really good. I'm all right with that.
which Ohio
I
State
just
kid?
don't see sense of taking a
I was talking about Steel Chambers
Cody, let me
replacing
defer.
Frankie Louvu.
yeah, Steel Chambers.
Defer?
Yeah.
Why you want to
That's
defer?
who I would personally take, but I'm going to defer to them because they have.
Well,
a lot of
listen.
these
So
guys
far,
spent
you
more
have
time
made
looking at these guys.
you have made the impassioned argument for Frank Gore. That's more than anyone else has done. So unless
Let me-
I hear someone else,
Can I step in here?
yeah.
So Sitting there at 199, Braden McGregor. He's the edge from Michigan. Standout season statistically. He started all 15 games, posting 26 tackles during their championship run, 9 tackles for loss, tied for the team's lead. 6'5", 257. I mean, he's a big boy. 10-inch hands.
And he's a Wolverine, so you know JJ likes him.
JJ.
One of the things that they say about his strengths is he consistently gets his hands up to knock down passes, and he's always looking for ways to make a play. Has one of his best performances in the Rose Bowl against Alabama, picking up 2 sacks and tackles for loss.
I like that. You might have just sold me, man.
He's 6'5".
I don't know, man. Michigan had a plethora of big old defensive tackles.
We can't look. Steve Smith was 5'10". Steve Smith was 5'10".
He had 2 sacks in the Rose Bowl.
But this kid ain't like Steve Smith.
I'm just saying, size is not immediately a describing factor in success in the NFL. That's all I'm making a case on.
He did deal with an injury early in his college career, though, but he's already past that.
What's his speed like?
I do like the traits, listening to his traits and the physicality that he has. I'm down for that.
He kind of reminds me of Trayvon Walker, honestly.
To be honest with you, this is a 7th round pick. The guy
Boys,
will probably
all of our picks. Hey, listen, all of our picks on this website have been graded an A. Most of them have been A+. So let's hit this out the park. My vote is for Braden McGregor.
He's good at stopping the run. He's good at stopping the run.
I'll defer to that too.
All right. Depth at that position is not a bad thing.
Braden McGregor going once, Braden McGregor going twice. Braden McGregor is a Carolina Panther. Let's go.
You should have directed Sam.
It's a B+. It's the only one that they didn't grade us.
I wonder.
I know Pickle won his argument.
Can you find out what Gore's rating would have been?
Y'all look it up. I'm going to save this.
The grades don't matter anyway because you can't grade anything that hasn't happened yet. That's what this is ridiculous to think it. It's grading like based off of like things that might not matter. We were just talking about height. It doesn't matter most of the time.
Go down briefly.
But this is hold on. This is our draft. This is what we've done today on the Friday Free for All.
I'm proud
of it. McConkey at number 33. Zach Frazier at 39. Peyton Wilson at 65. Jonah Ellis at 101. Ben Sinnott at 142. Kalen Carson at 144. Will Shipley at 160. And Braden McGregor at 240. The final pick of the draft. McGregor.
We're just missing with Luke McCaffrey. That's the only one we need. We have the trifecta.
I know it.
I want to apologize to absolutely nobody.
To absolutely no one.
See, y'all look at that right there. Y'all really think the Patriots are going to draft a wide receiver instead of a quarterback?
So, boys, but judging off of this draft, what do y'all give this draft on a grading scale? So, A+, B-.
Oh, the fans would love it.
What do we feel?
The fans would love this draft.
A triple+.
If you trade pick 33 with 144, meaning quarterback at 33, then and a receiver at 144, I'd be in it. I'd give it an A+. We have a lad, man. We have a lot of lads.
Yeah, I mean, what other receivers were at 33? It was like Coleman or Leggett there?
Yeah, Coleman was there. We had a big fight about that. Coleman or McCollum.
Who was
Coleman,
arguing for
Franklin, and
Coleman?
Leggett.
Go.
Me.
I mean, I would argue. If I was here, I would have argued with you for Coleman.
Yeah, we was tied 3-3, and I think Cody chose Lad.
Listen,
for us to pick back.
It's fun to do this, but also like I want to almost redo this, but like we don't say what we really truly want, and instead we say what we think we're gonna get. That would be
What we
more
think we're
interesting to
gonna
me
do.
because that's what's gonna
Totally.
probably happen if we
Yeah.
put our minds together
Didn't we
on
just
that
do
one. I
that?
think we get pretty decent close.
Yeah, maybe next
Well, that's
Friday we can do that one.
I like that discussion too, Strats, because we're looking at a first-time head coach and a first-time GM and Dan Morgan. You got that side of Panthers fandom that believes that Dan Morgan backed up all the bad draft picks from Scott Fitterer, and then you've got the other side that's starting to believe that hey, with these moves in free agency, maybe Dan Morgan isn't the GM that we thought he was. Maybe he's a lot better, and Dave Tepper made a good pick and put him in that GM spot, and he's going to be able to find us some dogs. So that's a great point that you bring up. Would Panthers fans think that Dan would make good picks in the draft, kind of like this one? Because I know fans would love this draft. Or do they feel like he would make obscure picks that fans wouldn't like whatsoever? That's an interesting question.
Cody, not to interrupt the conversation. I apologize, Deez. I'm reading a story right now. I just found out, I don't think anybody knows it, that the Titans actually agreed to trade for the Chiefs cornerback L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, I saw that.
The
They're
trade
just like
was
doing
agreed
contract
to,
stuff now.
except for the Titans couldn't come to an agreement with Sneed's long-term deal, so the trade was niched.
Wow.
I'm happy about that.
Sneed
They stole Calvin already. They don't need another good player.
Well, they didn't steal him. They just paid him more than y'all was.
Yeah. I'm not too mad about that. The fact that they paid him so much.
Yeah.
Like Jags,
Well,
we're not paying them that much.
All right.
Yeah.
So look, that is another episode of the C3 Friday Free for All, boys. We did it. And listen, be on the lookout because this weekend your boys are filming their first bit of draft content. We're going to be looking at a couple of different people, man. Probably Chop Robinson, Nate Wiggins. And this is going to go out to all of the subscribers of the channel. So if you would like to become a member for $1.99 a month, that's all it takes, man. And by the way, it's not just for the money aspect of it. That has almost nothing to do with it. Whenever we try to show stuff on YouTube of college film, inevitably they demonetize us and they make it where it doesn't let us even stream and show stuff without pulling it down if it's college film. So we're going to record a video, and then to everyone who subscribes to the channel for $1.99 a month, we're going to be doing some deep dives on some of these draft prospects, looking at their highlights, looking at some of their film, talking about their combine performances, and all of it will be players that are going to be around that 33 to 39 range for the Carolina Panthers, in that type of area. We appreciate y'all, man. Hit that subscribe for $1.99 if you would like to be a part of that content. Boys, we're going to start to get out of here, man. Give me your final thoughts and final words for the show. Let me go to my man, Evan. Happy to have you back on the show, Evan. And give me your final thoughts for the show, brother.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I hopped in here late, but it was still fun to finish it off. And I mean, yeah, I'm excited for the draft and to start looking into some of these prospects. And really, I know I have my favorites right now, but I definitely feel like I should start looking into some that are more not some of my favorites, just because I haven't seen much on them. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good off season. I always love this time of the off season, and yeah, keep pounding.
Yes, sir. Keep pounding. Appreciate you, brother. Next up, my boy JJ in the building. Happy to have you as always, JJ. Give me your final thoughts for the free for all, man.
Nothing too special, man. We got like maybe a month until the draft is here. It'll be here sooner than y'all realize. That's like what, 4 more free for alls, and then we'll actually know who we pick up, and then we'll see. We'll be able to evaluate Dan Morgan more as a general manager and his decisions this offseason. We'll have plenty of time to evaluate and talk about that. You could also talk to us about that on the C3 Spaces we do on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. You know, you can follow us all there, whatever, man.
Yes, sir.
And of course, join us up here, man. The C3 family is open to everyone, man. I hope we all have a great weekend.
Appreciate you, JJ. That's my dog right there. Next up, let me go to my man Kyle from Charlotte Sports One. We appreciate you, brother. Yeah, give me your final thoughts for the show today, man.
Man, I think it could fall that way. You know, I mean, it was kind of hopeful. I think a lot of it's hopeful thinking, but there's a lot of there's a lot of time for us to continue to work on that. And I'm excited for all the mocks that we're going to be doing, and for all the diving that we're going to be able to do. So I hope y'all stay tuned, because C3 is putting out that fire content. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. And by the way, for those who were wondering what my boy JJ was talking about when it comes to these Twitter Spaces, y'all follow all the boys, man, because they're constantly doing spaces. C3 Legion, we are Legion, man. C3 is all of us. All Panther fan opinions are welcomed amongst C3, man. That's what we're doing. That's what the boys are letting y'all do on spaces. Follow everyone, man. Outside Panther Pickle, Jake the Snake FU2, Mossy Man 789 News, Mr. Strats, These Ill Skills, the brand ambassador, Griffin Colby, JJ, or C3 JJ Josh, my man Anthony C3, NG Baby 1 Swag. They've got the spaces on point, man, bringing this incredible discussion. I'll leave them up there for the moment. And yeah, man, follow the boys. Christian, happy to have you on yet another free-for-all, man. You've been a staple of the show, man. Happy to have you. And tell me your final thoughts for the free-for-all.
Nah, nothing too big. Just want to thank you all, and thank you, Cody, for hosting it again. And it's been fun. We got 5 more weeks, and then we'll know who we took.
Yes, sir. 5 more weeks. That's not too long, boys. 5 more mock drafts, and yeah, and we'll be on to something, man. Last but never least, I don't know if he's really told anyone to shut the hell up tonight, so maybe that disappointed you, but he sure brought the fire. He always does. Panther Pickle, give me your final words for the show, brother.
That's right. Folks, why this sign on Spaces is still up. Y'all need to understand, we don't just get on there and talk. The other day, we did a interactive space. We're beginning to do a lot of these where we'll use a Streamyard on Twitter at the very same time we're talking on space about what we're watching. We did a mock the other day, and we allowed folks to see it on Streamyard, and we talked about it on Spaces. And some of the chatting you've heard us do tonight, we do on Spaces almost every day. Somebody hosts it. Either it's Jake, it's Diesel Skills, it's me. It's hard to say. And hey, don't be surprised if you see Mr. Strats hosting a space someday. It happens. We do it all the time, and we enjoy doing it, and we do it for you. So
yes,
come
sir.
get it. Now,
yes, sir.
Always remember, we don't take personal shots against anybody unless it's each other. So, and and if you see a Falcon fan or a Bears fan or a Saints fan, they tell you how great they are. Tell them to shut the hell up, because they don't matter. They still suck.
Now it's a free-for-all, Pickle. We got to shut the hell up out of it.
The Falcons will suck because it's just what they do.
It's in their blood. It's in their DNA.
I mean, they can't help but
suck. You gotta suck, right? We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. Y'all know that. If you've got half a sense, you know that as well.
Suck the Falcons, and the Falcons suck the Bucks, and it's just one big circle of suck.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, real quick.
That sounded real gross.
This got gross, Pickle. It got gross, Pickle. Cut it off, Pickle. It got gross at the end.
Hey, Cody, real quick, I just want to say, we got over 60 people still watching, and you know you're hardcore. Just be a little more hardcore and hit that thumbs up for these guys.
Hey, DJ Skills, dig me out of this hole, brother.
Yeah, man. Listen, last but never least, it is the brand ambassador representing his Duke Blue Devils. You know him, you love him. He always brings the fire at the end of the show. D's, give me your final words for the free-for-all, brother.
Well, first of all, Panther Pickle, you know I brought my shovel, so I've been digging already. I'll get you right out of this hole real quick for all these Panthers fans that are still tuned in to C3 late on a Friday night. I hope all you guys enjoy your weekend. We appreciate you all for joining here. We need those likes. We need those subscribes for C3 and the C3 Panthers podcast. The flagship show is live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. We invite you to join and make a cat call on Tuesday before the show starts at 252-228-5098. Join in the conversation. Get into the car. Take a ride with us to the game for this Panthers, for these Carolina Panthers coming up. Tell us what you think is going to happen. That's your mission here on the C3 Panthers podcast. We appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you for being a part. I really like what we kind of put together tonight in the draft. I enjoyed it. I think we had a good mock draft. I think we're growing and developing. I like the fact that we were able to include the chat of C3 into the mock draft that we did tonight with the poll. I think that's a lot of fun. Just like Panther Pickle was saying, getting interactive with the fans is kind of what C3 is all about. We invite everyone to join this Friday show. We invite everyone to create an account on X or Twitter and join the C3 Legion spaces. Because we have been strong. We've been in numbers out on the YouTube and on Twitter as well. I mean, last week on Friday, we ended the show with 600 viewers between Twitter and here. So we just want to let everyone know how much we appreciate you guys joining the C3 Panthers podcast, how much it means to us. And we just want to hear your opinion and have you join in the conversation. We don't know where this rebuild is going. We hope the best for these Carolina Panthers. So our advice to you and to everyone else is to keep pounding, C3.
Keep pounding, C3 Friday free for all. We out, baby.
Let's go.